All right, we're live.
We're live.
Pretty sure we're live.
Are we?
Sorry, it's always hard to tell.
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. All right. After an exciting Bills-Texans game, Pats are on deck at home against the Titans. They have a huge screenplay. James White. What a block by Joe Thuney. Holy. Look at this block, man. 75 already got the...
A little bit of tomfoolery from Tom Brady. Trick play. What's going on, Roderick? We are on the Pats in the contest, but it was a no bet.
Roderick Williams. I like that name.
A lot of sharps were on the Patriots as well.
I like the Patriots today.
Patriots closed at 4.5 or 5, depending on which book you're at.
Yeah.
Nice run from Sony Michel. Picks up about 7.
Patriots encroaching on the red zone here. I want to see that. I'm excited for this game.
Oh,
It was a terrible decision.
I don't think he saw Rashad Evans there because he threw it right at him. They're going to have to settle for a field goal. Who's kicking field goals tonight?
Nick Folk. That's just shocking to me, but he looks like he has the same eyebrows as Dylan Toddfield. He kind of looks like Dylan Toddfield, to be honest.
.36-yard attempt here.
Ooh, just inching in. 3-0 New England. Jameson Griffith, hello, sir.
What's going on, Jameson?
I wish I had a cool name like that. I'd be a celebrity.
Yeah,
Man,
with a name like Fat
the
Guy
market
really
for
sets you
trucks
back.
must be insane, considering how many commercials there are.
I'm going to buy 2 by the end of this playoffs.
Yeah. Nothing says big strong man like a big strong truck.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, gentlemen. I hope your wagering went well. Maybe you got the Texans at the right line. Maybe you were lucky.
That game was wild. Last game.
What's that?
Oh, Jameson had Texans minus 2.5.
Nice cover.
That was an exciting game, barred by a lot of interesting coaching decisions both ways.
Yeah. Ooh, Don Taylor's doing the voiceover of this commercial. Don, I have the a face for radio. Taylor. It's a Vancouver joke, I guess.
I don't think he's a bad-looking guy.
Huh?
I don't think he's a bad-looking guy. He actually got his break on TV doing Sports Page,
Sure.
another Vancouver show.
That rookie with the illegal block in the back potentially cost Buffalo the game. Yeah, there are a lot of weird stuff. That sneak on fourth down, I don't know about that. Neither me and Big Rye. I would have punted. Big Rye would have taken the field goal with Fairbairn, but either way, I mean, it's just kind of silly.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how Henry fares against this defense. That's the matchup I've been looking for all playoffs.
I got a feeling New England's going to win this matchup. Just how much are they going to have to invest in shutting him down?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the real question.
I feel like I was talking with a Patriots fan yesterday. He suspects that Shelton and Lawrence Guy are going to play a majority of the game. I think Shelton for sure. I don't know about Lawrence Guy, but I have Pats minus 4.5 here. Fantastic. It's a reasonable start then, I would say. Big question is this defense. I have a question now. Considering that is now a touchback, why did Carter even catch the ball then?
Well, that's the confusing part about it.
They don't even
guess-
stick to the rules. Common sense. There's rules and there's who's Blazing Game? I don't know that last name. Number 41.
It's fullback.
That's a cool last name. Here we go. Single back formation. Play action. Ooh.
I think it's going to be a lot of play action today from Tennessee. That's my guess.
And they should. He's only 233 pounds. As a fullback, it's pretty light.
Well,
Feels like a...
He's lighter than the tailback.
Yeah, he is, like, considerably. Clemson plus 6.5, fantastic.
Jameson, I'll check out the college market for you.
Hello, sir. I'm really rooting for the Eagles tomorrow, Jason Finley. Really, really, really rooting for him. I'm assuming you have some props here. Yeah, Cash Houston, fantastic.
Clemson open at plus 4.5. They've been bet up to plus 5.5. 24% of bettors are on Clemson. 20% of the money is on Clemson.
That's considered 17,691 bets. That's considerable exposure for the book.
There's still going to be a lot more. There's probably going to be like 100,000 bets on that game.
Yeah.
When you compare it to the NFL, both these games got around 70,000 bets today. Just over 70,000.
Yeah.
Sharps are on the Patriots. Sharps were on the Bills earlier, so they took a loss on the Bills.
Close one.
What's going on, Untouchable? How you doing tonight? You got money on Houston? That was nice. Did you have money line or did you get them 2.5?
And this Titans offense is looking pretty good here. I like this offense. I really do. Jeez, is this guy... Man, if this is how they're planned for handling Henry, I don't know. Ooh.
Nice. Untouchable got him at Houston minus 2.5.
Perfect. Cash.
Tannehill's made such a difference for this offense.
Ooh, JD Wonderful. Hello, sir.
What's going on, JD? It's always nice to have wonderful in your name.
Why not? I wonder if Kurt Henning's brother's name was Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful.
That's that Kevin O'Leary, that ass clown from where we are, Canada. Dude, these Henry runs are just amazing. This is what I wanted to see all weekend, was this. Jeez, man.
Happy New Year to you, JD.
Hey, man, Happy New Year, JD. Happy New Year. Dude, Henry is just such a load, man. Like, Hightower, this is supposed to be a good matchup for him. Hightower's a heavier linebacker, not that fleet of foot. This guy's a dancer, man.
He's a private dancer.
Dancer for money. Do what Derrick Henry wants you to do. No, man, but he's got just quick, nimble feet. This blocking's pretty good, too, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They've invested a lot in that O-line, eh?
That's why we like them so much.
Yeah.
Is that Mariota in?
Yeah. Oh, I guess he's become, like, was he like Terrell Pryor now?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
I don't mind it.
yeah.
I can tell you they didn't do much game planning for Mariota.
I would agree with that. It's a pretty lateral move, though. Tannehill's an athletic quarterback. Not as athletic as Marcus Mariota, but, I mean.
One guy's more dispensable than the other.
Yes, right now, which is hilarious. Because Mariota's supposed to be the future, right? Clearly not. Tannehill's going to stay with this team regardless. Oh, man. There's... If you can run the ball like Henry is right now, there's no team that'll beat you. It doesn't exist. They're 26 for 30 in red zone, the touchdowns.
The blocking's been unreal too.
Yeah, the blocking's been pretty good. Look at Roger Saffold, Taylor Lewin. Is there a better left side? At Jack Conklin at right tackle. This is a loaded crew, man. Ben Jones is a veteran. Corey Andy, love the market video. Is it going to see a return next year? Maybe a YouTube members or Patreon type deal? I like that idea when you propose it. I haven't spoken to Big Rye about it, but I think that's kind of a good idea.
I want to do it for every league. I don't want to just do it for NFL. So I'm going to work it in. I'm just slow. I've been a little bit slow getting it out to you guys, but I'm going to continue working on it and doing there's a lot of research that has to go into those market videos.
Because we don't want to get
I don't want to pull up NCAA basketball and give you the same advice on market plays that I know work for NFL, but I don't know if they work for NCAA basketball. So I have to do all the data entry, and then I have to do kind of like the analytical work behind what is a good decision, what is a bad decision. Go from there. But Corey, I'm definitely working on those. I want to have year-round content for you, and that's the next iteration. I feel is doing those market videos for all the different sports.
I like when the old man throws a hat revealing a bald spot.
I want to know why every ref has to be 60 plus years old.
It was a great video, and of course, for all work, you guys shouldn't be doing market type stuff for free. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to.
We're kind of playing the long game, Corey. We are trying to get a following for now, and we kind of have a goal of how many people we want to get, and then eventually we want to create a website that helps everybody. But it's a slow, long process, and there's no rush. Maybe to make a couple bucks while we're doing it, we can do that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to have people paying to get stuff at this time.
I will say this, though. I just lost my train of thought. It's like we cast a wide net, but you gotta remember, like, not that many people are, like, a lot of people don't understand or B, consider what we say to be accurate or even plausible, let's say. So we're pandering to a niche market, which we like, but it does have its disadvantages as far as slow growth. If we made cat videos for 2 years, I'm pretty sure we'd be more successful, but that's the nature of it, and that's what we specialize in. And the other thing too is we don't want to convert everybody. We really don't. I mean, that otherwise the market wouldn't exist. Yeah, that's true, Corey. That's paid for information as well. He's relaying paid for information, so yeah, you're not wrong.
You bring up good points, Corey. It's something we're definitely going to have to brainstorm and think about. And we're always going to be asking guys like you for your insight into what you think.
Yeah, what you think exactly. The other thing, too, is we don't want to shake down our core members either for money. Like we were offered a sponsorship with a sports book, not for a lot of money, but the whole idea is that, I don't know, we don't want to sell out necessarily. So, I mean, there would be a point where we have to take some sort of monetary compensation, but we haven't quite reached that yet.
Patrick Chung's out. Not a player the Pats want to see get injured.
He's not necessarily a great athlete, but he's a strong leader on that defense.
Well, he's usually the guy who covers man-to-man on tight ends, which could come into play later in this game. It's going to come into play in these playoffs, that's for sure. Corey said the public bet percentage that you guys do on the spread is public for free on Sports Insights, but the market play is pricey. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good
Corey.
point.
If you go through the Action Network, it's actually not too pricey, but it just depends what you're working with.
What a touchdown, Anthony Firkser.
Tennessee made that look easy.
That whole drive looked easy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the recommendation of the Sharp Spending book by Wong. It's great. I love that book. I really do. I mean, the thing is, I'm holding it up for the camera. Is it going to make it?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, I've been writing my own book, Big Ryan and I, so some of the stuff when you review it does feel a little bit antiquated, but it's from 2009. I mean, what's supposed to hold it's still held. There's tremendous value within this book, but it does need some updating if and maybe I'm able to provide that. So.
Oh, he said he has the older one as well. I didn't know there was
you have an older one? I didn't know there was an older one. So I've had that book since I think 2011. You have the 2000 version? Yeah. Most of a lot of the math in there is going to hold strong forever. That guy, Stanford Wong, I forget what his real name is. He's a white guy. He's an interesting case on his own. I think let me read his bio. I'm curious. Because he was a blackjack expert. That's what he was. There's a book called Stanford Wong Flunks Big Time, and it's a novel. Oh, his name's John Ferguson. That's his name. He did go to Stanford. Okay, I was gonna say that, but I thought that was too. You taught me to bet the numbers, not emotion. That's the biggest move I've learned. Well, I'm glad. We were able to do that. That alone, that one thing that you just said alone, is gonna save you countless I don't even know how much money over your lifetime. Because, I mean, as long as, that's the hardest thing because, the Saints Niners, I bet 225 once the Saints took the lead and it cost me. Well, I mean, that's the whole point of in-game betting. And to be honest, even Big Rye, who's the stone of stones, has made in-game betting decision mistakes.
Yeah.
Only once, though. Big Rye is a learn it once type guy. Usually takes me 10, 11, or 15 times, but
Oh, my dad took the Titans 4.5.
oh, Jason, we had the pick video out. Ended up no bets, Zaps. In a roundabout way, I have the Patriots, but I like T-shirts. Yeah, well, you gotta win. It's for the whole playoffs.
Untouchable Jay, you can still make your picks.
You can still make your
This
picks.
game's too early
This
to
game's
even.
too late, rather.
Oh, there's still so much time left. And then the last game was a push anyway, so nobody won.
Listen to this. Wong began playing blackjack in 1964 while teaching finance courses at San Francisco State University and getting his PhD in finance from Stanford University in California. Not content with the teaching life, Wong agreed to be paid a salary of $1 for his last term of teaching at the school in order to not attend faculty meetings and pursue his gambling career.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Untouchable. It doesn't even matter who you take. The line was 3 and the game finished at 3, so it's a push for everybody.
Yeah.
The Pats losing cost me about $200 last week, and had the Bucks, and that cost me $150, but ended up plus $300.
$300. It's a fine
That's
week.
Awesome.
It's a fine week.
The Pats losing cost me too because I had the Dolphins under 4.5 wins. It cost me 3 units. BRB. Touchable's going to go make his picks.
Yeah. Nice play, Sanu. I thought that was a first down. Yeah, they're going to give it to him. Yeah, if Pats and Bucks won, it would have been my biggest winning streak.
Winning week, yeah, for sure.
What do you mean? You bet on the Pats to win outright, or did you do a parlay? Yeah, JD, I think it will be too. I'm just worried if you can't slow Henry down, and I thought it was so obvious they'd have something good for it, but maybe they just don't have the personnel. Nice play, Sony Michel.
Corey said week 16 took Oakland and Philly and the Mavericks early, but the blown lead cost me. I did the Pats when it was 17-17 and Packers to come back down 7 and the Bills and Jets to be under. Oh, nice. You made your picks. You're in.
Fantastic.
Terrific.
Yeah, we're not big fans of in-game betting. I don't have data one way or another. I feel like the juice wins in in-game betting.
Well, in-game betting has more juice. Unless you're betting like at halftime. It seems like at Pinnacle, at least you bet at half, you can get the same amount of juice as you would, that minus 105.
Yeah.
But that's if you're betting
first half before the game too, it's the same thing.
Yeah. But if you're betting live in-game, like if we were to make a bet right now, you're going to pay like twice as much juice.
Which is twice as hard to beat, which is we don't recommend, that's for sure.
I like Untouchable. Even took New England in this game, even though they're down 4 and what's
I guess we got to give it to him then.
It's 4.5. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
He's going to be bold.
He's in the game. Corey said in-game betting, he did a lot of late-game unders when the Jags were getting blown out. And then Corey said juice for the over. Indeed, live usually about -110 to -120.
Yeah, I gotta show you something then.
Well, it's like 52.38 to like over 54%. What's -120?
Okay, so this one we all know. Everyone knows this number off by heart. So I'll just do it. I'll just put them in.
So I usually live bet unders and overs in games that are 3 to 4 touchdown blowouts because my book closes the undead overs at 9 minutes left. The one of the most famous bettors is Geraldo Bob, and he found betting the second half of basketball game over unders. There was a huge tell from some of the coaches, and that's kind of how he got his big start.
Yeah.
So there definitely is the ability to do it, but like the fat guy just posted those 3 different percentages on the juice.
Those are break-even win percentages.
Yeah, and think about like even at -120, if you have to hit it 54.55% of the time, that's really, really hard to do over the long term. I'm not familiar with Scott Farrell. I think fat guy's just Googling it right now.
Yeah, I am. Oh, I know this guy. I don't listen to his show or anything, but I do know him.
I appreciate it.
He was on Howard Stern, right? I think that's where I know him from.
What's his thing? Second and 10 here for the Patriots on Tennessee's 40. Looks like Tennessee had to switch up to man. Corey said he's on the back of the Wong book and he does radio for CBS. He does some paid picks and had 70% picks against the spread for the NFL. That's pretty good.
Well, 70%'s not possible over a long sample, but it depends how long. I don't know, and also too, I don't like them how they count it. Here's a good example, like, what is it? It's 1 in a trillion to get 700 wins out of 1,000 games against the spread. So I mean, I that's why when I hear that number, because that's the actual math. Because I've been writing this book with Big Rye, so done a little bit of homework on it, and then 700 and 1,000 I think is 1 in a trillion. It's 1 in a trillion, 1 in a billion. Doesn't even matter. Those are ridiculously long odds.
He sounds like he swallowed a pack of cigarettes. His voice is that raspy.
Yeah. I know which guy this is. I've just never seen.
No doubt, he's probably a skilled handicapper. It's just tough to. It's tough because you find your like the fat guy and I went. I don't know what's the percentages 10-1 2 playoffs ago.
We went 10-1 in the playoffs. Yeah.
What is that, like 89%, 91%? 91? Pretty sure it's 91%, 10 over 11.
Yeah, it's 91. Yeah.
So we could say we went
91.9.
So we could say we went 91.9% against the spread 2 playoffs ago. But what does that mean? In an 11-game sample, it just doesn't mean enough. He's a frequent regular on the NFL Network Top 10 show. That's surprising. Usually sports leagues don't cuddle up with guys that are betting. I think it's going to become more and more likely though.
Yeah, weeks 10 to 13. Yeah, that's 100% possible. I'm just talking about a large sample. Like to do that over the whole season is probably 1 in.
Well, picking every game over the whole season is really
probably
tough.
1 in a million.
Betting wise, selecting a couple games here and there, and teasing. Like I know, there's that one show on YouTube, and he teases every game.
He teases every game 8 points. Well, I hope you hit 70%, pal, because that's about break even.
What's going on, Zitvono?
Hey, Zitvono. Hello, sir.
He was on the show early from like 08 to 2011, like the top 10 kick returners, the old school NFL.
Oh, yeah. I totally know what you're talking about, Corey. Yeah. Zitvono. Oh, I was watching that channel recently. I thought that his record was a little suspicious. Yeah, it's he teases every game. So I'm not trying to hate on the guy, but I mean, it's just very misleading to the gambling public. You know what I mean? Nothing against him, but like, I don't know. Anyone who teases, it's hard for me to take their gambling advice seriously. It's like I don't know, someone that overpays for everything. They're trying to give you financial advice. Plus 850 money line. I still don't think that's enough of an odd set, Corey. Yeah, that's the one, Dan.
What's going on, Dan Dickerson? How you doing?
That's a good alliteration. Sounds like a superhero name, Dan Dickerson.
Yeah. Reminds me of Dan Dickau, ex-NBA player.
I've heard that in a specific situation, teams can be close to 0 EV. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't doubt that. Okay. Yeah. That would make sense, Zitvono. But you're talking about like very specific parameters. Like parlays, you can find things. There are exploitable correlation parlays. There are. You know that. I'm not telling you anything new here, but like everything, there can be. But every game, like, it's insane. Yeah. Like even the props can be beat too, but it's just it's a lot of hunting for the right price.
It's the same as the live stuff. You're getting odds of like minus 115, minus 120 that's just the break even. So you have to be right 55% of the time to even make a buck.
Which is tough.
Dan Dixter.
Find funny how long. Well, sport parlay is the ultimate pleasure gambling. There's a low investment for the chance at a high win, and the stories travel. You know what I mean? Like it's the stories. You know, I know so many people around where I live. They go, "Oh man, I was one away," right? And the guy goes, "From how much?" And then they talk about it, and it just creates this never ending.
Yes, Corey, Andy, like, if you're a sports book and you're going to pay us to advertise, you want us to advertise parlays because parlays is what's going to make them the most money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can go 9 for 10, but it all takes is one loss.
One loss. Yeah, when realistically, if you went 9-1 in actuality, that's like it's a home run day. And that does happen. But yeah, like putting Cincinnati plus 20 in a 4-team teaser, not safe bet. Yeah.
Looks like New England's got a positive
touchdown.
Play here. Edelman walks in on the reverse. Zitvono said, but yeah, like putting Cincinnati plus 20 in a 4-team teaser is not a safe bet.
I don't know what a safe bet is anymore. I really don't. Apparently, that Seattle's a safe bet tomorrow. It's 100% locked. That's what I've been 100%. Told.
That line's actually gone to even at some places, so more sharps coming down on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice touchdown drive, New England.
So far, this looks like it's going to be an offensive game.
Yeah, we're going to be on the Eagles tomorrow. Is it Vono?
Yeah, I saw 538 had them at 5.5 point favorites.
Yeah, that's a little. I think a little exaggerated.
I think if it was 5.5, almost everybody would be on Seattle.
Oh yeah, us included. Yeah, Corey. The first taste, nobody actually, just in the contest, the Patriots. So
yeah, if I was gonna bet, I'd probably bet Tennessee, but sharps were on New England. I don't like taking favorites, so I just left it alone. There's too many conflicting things happening in this game.
In a roundabout way, a New England win would be good for me. So, and some other gambling I got going on. Yeah, the first game I got introduced to contrarian theory. It was Celtics at Bobcats, and the Celtics were 1-point favorites, and this was like the championship 07 Celtics, and the Bobcats won by like 30. It was 88% of the public was betting on the Celtics.
Those are, anytime we've talked to people about that kind of stuff, it takes those crazy games for people to believe.
Yeah, it does. Even though it's just an aberration more than anything.
Well, that's what I feel like this Philly game is going to be like tomorrow.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but I like their chances. People are overestimating the Seahawks road record. Well, I think they're undefeated. Excuse me. I think they're undefeated on the road.
Well, home road this year has been just crazy itself.
They have one loss on the road.
Like, you would have won our contest if you just took every road team.
That's funny, eh?
The for closing lines, the away team went 139 to 106. Off the top of my head, I don't know what that percentage is. So you would have hit at 56.7% just taking every road team all year.
Home team are usually 60%. I don't know if
home field advantage, and home teams win about 59% of the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Or 3-point favorites as it's been in the past. But this year was completely different. Like this year, the road team scored 0.2 more points than the home team. Yawn at those numbers. What's going on, John Stacey?
That guy's the greatest. Man, Henry, it took Danny Shelton to dive on his feet for him to go down. The guy is just a beast, man. He's a huge man.
That's some serious face paint.
Yeah, you might Zidvona. Like we're kind of anchored to like how it's been in the past. We've been doing this for a number of years, but nice bat. Hi, dads. Hello, Dylan.
What's going on, Dylan? Fog is rolling in New England.
We realize you kind of look like Nick Folk, Dylan. I think he lost a bet and shaved his eyebrows off too.
This is where it gets really tough, is deciding what to use when you're making your formulas. Like, do you just go off the sample of this year, or do you use the past 10 years? Do you use the past 6 years?
And rule changes and all that stuff.
But that's part of where the handicapping skill comes into play.
Curran, one of the best punters in the league.
A lot of people clown Henry, but I looked at his stats, and his lowest yards per carry was 4.2 yards. People forget he was Murray's backup. Yeah, that's true.
Murray's backup?
DeMarco Murray, when he came to Tennessee, was the starter.
Right.
And Henry was the backup. And then when DeMarco Murray left, they brought in, who's the small guy?
Oh, Dion Lewis?
Yeah, Dion Lewis. I thought that was the funniest thing, when Dion Lewis got the start for like the first 10 weeks over Derrick Henry.
Yes.
But it's because they spent so much money on him.
Yeah, but that's never a good idea. That's sunken cost fallacy. Doesn't matter how much money you spend on something. It doesn't mean, doing something negative going forward.
Corey said a lot of people were calling Henry a bust before the Jags game last year.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's a little silly.
Dylan said he's coming for us. He's going to only be one game behind on Saturday, on the end of Sunday.
We'll see, Dylan. I mean, good. Best of luck to you. I like the Eagles tomorrow. There's no guarantees in this game though, so. Yeah, I agree, Corey. I really do. I think too is the thing I liked about Henry's college is go look at the amount of carries Henry got in some of the games in college. I mean, I've looked at it 10 times, but
I think he has like some 30+ carry games.
Yeah,
maybe even
there's
a
couple
40
of
plus.
Them. There's one in the 40s, I think.
John Stacey wanted the option to pick a push earlier.
Ooh. That's interesting. That favors the bold. I think if it's 3 points, you should have the option almost.
The Mickey Hill called it in the comment section as well, saying at 2.5 he likes Houston, at 3.5 he likes.
Yeah.
Corey thinks that Derrick Henry only has 1 or 2 more good years left. Just depends.
It's tough. Play action. He'll hit Michelle again. Okay. Henry rushed the ball 46 times against Auburn, and then a week later he rushed the ball 44 times against Florida. That's insane. He has another one for 38. His bowl game against Clemson was 36. I mean, 32 against A&M.
90 carries in the span of 8 days is pretty crazy.
90 carries. Unbelievable, man. That's dude, that's a season for receiving back.
Don't know how people were picking against the Pats. They have low cloud and they're undefeated versus Tannehill in Foxborough and the Pats at home.
I wouldn't put undefeated versus Tannehill in Foxborough. That's a really specific stat. Like, the sample is never going to be large enough to consider that as a viable metric, let's say.
And probably all those games are against Miami or with Miami.
Yeah.
It's a much better team than the one he played for in Miami.
Edelman doesn't have any receptions. He had a touchdown, though. It was a rushing touchdown. 1 Kamara, 2 Barkley, 3 McCaffrey. I don't know.
He's rating as the best looking running backs.
0-6, though. I mean, yeah, it's 6, Corey. I can't give you that one. I can't sign off on that with good conscience. I mean, it's probably nice food for thought. I would call it like a reporter stat. Like that's something that's, someone would say on the radio, and then you would anchor to that, going, "Oh yeah, it'll be 0-7, right?" So, I mean, I get that. I get that. Well, yeah, I get that, but I can't give that one any. I like the other thing though. That the Patriots don't have clout. They do have low clout. I would agree with that, considering they lost to Miami.
That's the record for most players, most starting quarterbacks that have played in Foxborough over the years, to be honest.
Yeah, it's negative. Kamara, Barkley, and McCaffrey. Dylan, I think it depends on the situation, man. A lot of times I'll take Derrick Henry over all those guys in a scenario where I need to grind the other team down. I'll tell you what, if I'm playing the Chiefs, I want Derrick Henry. I want to grind them right down. I want a violent running back. Also, I wouldn't mind a Chris Carson over those guys too. So,
I think it'd be hard pressed for you to want any of those backs over Henry for any playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, of course he is. The Corey, though, it's hard to quantify psychological stuff, so that's why I really just ignore it for the most part. You know what I mean? Because then, and also too, if an event happened, wow, Landon Roberts is stopped short. Wow. Yeah, Dennis Allen, sure. But like, I don't want to anchor, like, because say you have a psychological factor you think is important in a game, and then it comes true. That doesn't. I don't know, man. Like, is that why or why not? It's very difficult. Good job by this defense.
Did they just give it to a Landon Roberts?
Yeah, they did. Fullback.
Lined up at fullback.
A linebacker playing fullback, getting a rushing.
He had a touchdown last week or the week before.
Yeah, he did.
A receiving touchdown.
Ooh, there's a running into the kicker there, I think. Tommy can't get that? Good question. Yeah, what they want is Corey. They want winning culture to rub off on. Like that's kind of the sentiments around here. You know, Big Ryan and I would build a franchise way differently. The one thing, there's no salary cap on front office and coaching staff, so Big Ryan and I would focus the majority of our spending money on that. It's not really even close. I'd rather sacrifice money on cap to have good coaches, you know. Dabble's done very well in Buffalo, I felt, but I mean, I don't know if I can sign off. I actually like Buffalo's head coach and front office, Brandon Beane, and McDermott, Sean McDermott.
Coaching and play calling matters a lot.
The most, I think. So does Big Rye. New England hasn't had a good roster in 5 years. They won the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
This roster isn't good either. It's average. It really is an average roster. Maybe I'm going to say that's close to below average. There's a lot of strong rosters that haven't got it done. You know? Like Jacksonville has a lot of really good players. And I don't even mind Doug Marrone. Who's another one? Atlanta has a strong roster. Atlanta has a very strong roster. Cleveland has a better roster than New England. That's funny to say.
I'm a Buffalo fan. Can't agree. Dabble isn't that great on offense. McDermott has been good. Bean hasn't been there yet.
Cleveland, yeah. I don't know. I'm a fan of Buffalo. I got to be honest. As far as how their makeup. Everyone forgets how close they were in Super Bowl in 2015. Cleveland. I don't remember Cleveland ever being close to the Super Bowl, but Atlanta winning the South next year, make a deep run. I could see that.
I hope John Stacey's talking about football.
Who's going to be the Browns' next coach? That's a great question, JD. That really is. I want a fresh, young. That's what I want. Someone young with leadership, old coordinators, and perhaps like an innovative young GM. That's what I would like. A guy who's into math. That would be if you could hire a professional gambler, like a top tier handicapper, that would be the best GM you could get. I have a feeling they're going to go with someone like Mike McCarthy. That's what I think they're going to do. That's not what I would choose, but that's what I think they're going to do. Oh, yeah, in terms of talent. Yeah. Thank you, Corey. I figured there was a mix-up there. Exactly. Yeah, in terms of talent, I do think Cleveland has a better team than New England. I really do. Yeah. They were. They've been unbelievable. The Patriots, undeniable. Well, the Rockets hired Haralabob, who's probably the most successful sports gambler of all time, and now he's on the Mavericks. So he has a consultant role with the Mavericks. Last time I checked, let's say. There's a flag come flying in.
Steve Donaghy for GM for the Rockets. That'd be something. Yeah, you mentioned talents in the Pats, lack of talent, yet their far runs, and I mentioned the 1 year in the playoffs that they missed the bowl last 5 years.
Yeah.
Cleveland is lacking in the offensive line, though, one of the most important spots.
We love offensive lines that are strong.
Tennessee's maybe got one of the best.
Plentiful in that position.
Philly, Dallas.
Yeah, Philly, Dallas, yeah. New Orleans. New Orleans has a strong offensive line. Steve Belichick is the best mole in the league. I will agree with that. San Francisco has a good offensive line. And Baltimore. There you go. Weird, all the best teams. The talent level of the Bills' offensive line isn't on the same level as any of those teams that we had mentioned. But I got to be honest, man. The Bills, I don't know, some of the protection I've seen on the Bills is incredible.
They played well today.
It wasn't just today, though. Remember the Dallas game, too? Oh.
You could say the exact opposite from Houston.
Yeah.
The protection looked terrible.
They're best coached. Curtis Mariota was there, sacked 9 times in the Jags that game. I remember. Jags were so tough to stop that year. But I will say this, though. Mariota held on to the ball his whole career.
Yeah.
Second and a half too long.
That's more on Mariota.
Yeah. I don't think Tannehill's having those problems.
The Pats are disciplined and flexible. They can do a lot of different things, and that's what makes them good. Bills have had an amazing turnaround in the line. We were trashed last year. I always think of, when I think of good offensive lines making a difference, I always think of the Carolina Panthers when they went to the Super Bowl. That O-line that year was just insane. It was so good.
Yep. Dylan Todfield, why do you like a depleted Eagles team against the best player in the league, fat guy? I'm going to agree with that, being Russell Wilson being the best player in the league. I think that's pretty evident in my opinion. However, though, it is just my opinion. The market factors, the pros like the Eagles. Dylan, that's as simple as that, and that makes me like the Eagles. And I can see why. I can think. It's not like you can't think of 100 reasons why the Eagles could win or lose that game. I mean, Eagles could bully that Seahawks team
just as easily as the Seahawks could bully the Eagles. So it's strictly a market play. The public loves Seattle. The Sharps love the Eagles, so we're all on the Eagles.
If you're looking for a handy... Yeah, you are saying what I said. I know. Okay, of course, Dylan. But if you're looking for a handicapping reason, that is what I think. If you're looking up for a handicapping reason, you could say that Dwayne Brown is out for the Seahawks at left tackle. They'll have to play George Fant. That is I'm going to say a difficult matchup for the Seahawks. Yep. Their running backs are Travis Homer and Marshawn Lynch. They have a plethora of young receivers that aren't necessarily super talented if you want to go into handicapping reasons. I mean, deficiencies along the offensive line, weak receiver depth, weak running back depth. I mean, those are handicapping reasons, but I'm not necessarily concerned with those. Nice play. Michelle replicating his success last year as the postseason's leading rusher with over 500 yards. Pretty good in the postseason, eh? Yeah, he's a swing tackle, Corey. He's a project player, so I believe he's starting at left tackle. No, Josh Gordon. I'm pretty sure he got released. So
Josh Gordon got suspended again and released.
Yeah.
He's suspended indefinitely. I don't think he's ever going to come back and play again.
He was given a million chances. Well, they were a little better.
They were using him on third downs, which was interesting and being quite successful on those slant plays. But I don't think they're that much better. It doesn't make that much of a difference to have Josh Gordon or not. Like, he wasn't an important part of that offense, but he was getting a couple plays done each game.
Oh, Dwayne Brown has made a huge difference. I would agree. That was one thing we always thought was interesting. Seattle had some of the worst offensive lines we'd ever seen, really.
Yeah.
Them in Arizona when Rosen played on just last year. it's hard to have success with it. That's why I really think Russell Wilson is the best player, because he had one of the worst offensive lines I've seen, and he was able to make magic out of it. So, yeah, you're actually, Corey Andy, what you just said is 100% right. I don't mind, like, I actually think that a strong left tackle like Laramie Tunsil is worth 2 firsts, but I mean, just pay Brown. Like, you're going to save the value there.
Yeah, or just draft.
Or draft, yeah.
They could have taken 2 tackles in the first round in the next 2 years and probably gotten a guy that was better and had to pay him a lot less.
Well, that's another team with a good offensive line, the Oakland Raiders. Woo!
Yeah, Rodney Hudson.
Favorite.
I think he's only given up 2 sacks, they've said, since he's joined Oakland.
Yeah, which is insane. Hudson's maybe the best center in the league. And then Colton Miller's young but big.
Richie Incognito just signed a 2-year extension.
Yeah, this is massive.
Pretty good.
Gabe
I
Jackson.
thought he might just be back for a season and that's it, but he's wanting to stay and play.
Gabe Jackson, and then at right tackle they have
Colton Miller.
No, right tackle is Big Fat Boy.
Oh
Big
yeah,
boy.
Trent Brown. Sorry, I was getting
that might be the best offensive line in the league. Oakland.
It's pretty good.
If you want a power run, there's your crew.
Yeah.
That average weight is what, 315 probably. That's a huge line.
Josh Jacobs had a good year thanks to them.
Yeah. Colt Miller is what, 6'7", 6'8", and then Trent Brown 6'9". Those are and they're the heaviest and the biggest left tackle, right tackle combination.
Incognito is so good.
Incognito, he might be Big Rye's favorite player.
I'm not gonna say that.
I don't know, man. Every time you see him, you're like, this guy is a boss.
He's a good player.
He's unreal. I like all the off-field stuff. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
I want a mean bully on offensive line. Getting back to the game, Brady just made a really nice completion here. Nice. Is a difficult throw. 380 pounds for Brown. I don't know if he's that heavy, but he's heavy, yeah. He's a big boy. Miller's 315, 320. It's a mean crew. 10-7 New England here. Knocking on the door at the 25-yard line. Nice play.
Just been easy running for Sony Michel.
Yeah. Richie used to play with Jake Long. Jake Long was my favorite player in the NFL for a long time. Weird that mine was a left tackle. And then I switched to Joe Thomas. Jake Long at his peak for St. Louis was that was some of the best football I've seen. He would, on a run play, he could get 2 guys down every time almost. HGH, steroids, anger, the works. We got it. Screen to Burkhead. This is looking good. Jake Long was unbelievable player. First overall pick, Miami Dolphins, 2000. I'm gonna say 5.
Derek Carr just played dumb. Like, Derek Carr somehow has gotten worse every year. That's how I feel.
2008. Oh. 6'7", 322. I remember him being a little lighter and an inch shorter, but he was a boss. Yeah, before he got hurt, exactly. Oh, Michelle not able to get in.
Big play by Rashard Evans.
Yeah, they were. They only beat Baltimore that year. I had a prop bet on them to the Dolphins in 2007 not to win a game, and I lost.
Yeah, Carr isn't mentally tough. Too much complaining. Too much finger pointing at everybody else but himself.
It's the last thing you really want from a quarterback, too.
Pats at home are different in the playoffs. Pats are just good in the playoffs.
They're just good, period. I don't think it matters
It's
where.
the best coach team.
We'll grab a water. Would you like anything, sir?
Can you grab me a water as well?
Yes, sir.
So 2nd and goal for the Pats. Dolphins beat Ravens in OT. 6 days after the Ravens beat the Pats on Monday Night Football, wrote Rex Ryan, when he was defensive coordinator, called a timeout before 4th down. Then Brady threw a touchdown to go 14-0. Well, you need the breaks to have such crazy seasons. They stopped Burkhead. An interesting thing for Pats players, they're not allowed to reach to try to score. Because you figure Burkhead might be able to reach out and get that touchdown, but they're taught to hold on to the ball. Third and goal for the Pats. Not going to be able to sneak. Well, Brady didn't like how they were lined up because of how they shifted. It's plays like these that are underrated to have a guy like Brady in there. Big Ry, do you think that Pats could move up and get Justin Herbert? It's always a possibility. What is with Yer and Chase Daniel? What's the story behind that? I have to ask the fat guy. I can't remember fully what the entire story is. I don't know who Justin Herbert is. I'm guessing he's a quarterback. I think he's a quarterback, college quarterback. They'll do whatever they need to do. Tennessee made the stop on the goal line.
Wow.
Do you remember the Chase Daniel story?
Which one?
Like why we got enamored by kept saying that Chase Daniel's the cutest?
It's because I said I wanted him to play over. I think it came with me saying I wanted him to play over Trubisky, and then you said, I don't know. I really don't remember.
Oh, he's Oregon's quarterback. It's always a possibility. The Pats are a lot more likely to trade down than trade up off of what they've done in the past. But they'll do whatever they need to do to get the guy they want. The NFL Top 100 stuff, super, super interesting. I would definitely recommend watching it. And you get a lot of insight into Belichick. And I find it interesting listening to him talk about like players he passed up in drafts that are now top 100 players. It's interesting.
I never heard that.
Like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but pretty much any player who's played in like the last 20 years and is in the top 100, Belichick had, something to do with either drafting them or not drafting them. A lot of guys he missed out on. He talked about it with Brett Favre. He said not many people can say they passed up on Brett Favre twice, but he did. Who else? Oh, and then Favre made a joke as Brady's right beside him saying, I think it turned out okay.
Yeah.
You're surprised Brady didn't leave for a touchdown? There was an interesting prop bet. Brady over under half a yard, and it said to take the under on the Action Network, which I found very, very surprising because you figure there's going to be a sneak or two in this game for Brady. You didn't appreciate Collinsworth bringing up OJ's off-the-field stuff, the original Top 100, where OJ was ranked 36. They focused on his football career. Fortunately, people forget how great he was.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jim Brown's been a running back. OJ and Barry Sanders.
They'll do whatever they need to do to get people to watch. Collinsworth's saying that stuff just to be a little more viral.
I think to appease, because people get their bee in a bonnet nowadays about things people did in their past.
I hate the draft. I hate it when like college players are put on blast for shit they did 3-4 years ago.
Remember they did about Gary on Conley? They wrote on his draft bio, potential rapist. You remember that? I gotta find that story.
Was it Laramie Tunsil that they released him smoking weed with the mask on, too? There was a video released like day of, or the day before the draft. Untouchable, you gotta catch up. I'm a Bills fan, so I'm a little biased, but OJ is the best running back all time. Corey asked you to put the link in if you find it.
I'm gonna try and find it. There's a report and stuff, but it got leaked like hours before the draft. Jeez.
What safety or corner was that, number 21 on the Pats? He was lined up at free safety. Is that Jerron Harmon?
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember him being 21. Harmon's going to see a significant amount of playing time in this game if Patrick Chung's out.
There's a story about it.
Corey brought up that they pulled up tweets of Josh Allen from 5 years ago when he was drafted.
Yeah, they did do that.
Jim Brown had more talent. OJ was the Bills in 2014 games, only one to ever do that. Brown had more talent around him. OJ didn't have much to work with. All arguments that can be made. It's hard to find anyone to say that Jim Brown wasn't the best running back ever.
It's very hard to say that. I'm biased too because I love his book, and I never saw him run. Obviously, we're way too young, but his highlights are incredible. His stats are through the roof. I mean, yeah, I can't find it. I wonder if they got rid of it though. You know what I mean? Because Big Ryan, I watched this. I'm pretty sure, so I know I watched.
There was another guy last year that they talked about. I can't remember which player it was. There was a guy drafted. He was either this year or last year, and they just they spent the whole time talking about all the stuff off the field that happened. And yeah, some of the stuff they do is terrible, but it's just not the right moment.
Oh, Titans, D-end. He's in this game. Jeffrey Simmons, Mississippi State.
Did he do bad stuff? I thought he was just injured coming into the
year.
He
was injured, but because he would have been top 3 pick, they say. He was injured, and someone was beating up his sister, some woman, and he went up and decked her in the head or something. Joe Mixon too, right?
Mixon did the same thing.
Have you seen the Mixon punch?
No.
His was a way more egregious, but whatever. I don't know why I don't have sympathy for that kind of stuff. If they're not in jail, hire them. You know what I mean? Let the law work itself out. I don't care their political views, none of that. Even though I say that hypocritically, but I never thought Kaepernick was a good player. If I really thought Kaepernick was good, I wouldn't care that he's into whatever he's into. Oh.
Run out of real estate.
Cab lost his job to Blaine Gabbert twice, all I'm going to say. Yeah, exactly. A lot of, when they talked about his stats on NFL Network, I'm like, yeah, that was on a 2-14 team. All garbage time. Didn't mean anything.
over recent history, my favorite's been LaDainian Tomlinson, and he was left out of the top 100.
How? I don't even know how. That guy was unbelievable. Him and Aaron Rodgers not being in is insane to me. Oh, what a run. What a run, Derrick Henry.
They seem to place a lot of emphasis on taking guys from every
era.
Era. But it's just tough. It's tough when you, like, I'm sure there were great players, 40, 50 years ago. It's just hard to compare them to the guys of today.
You see Lewin's hit on Hightower?
I missed it.
Holy jeez.
Toss to Henry.
This guy is unbelievable. That window to fit that frame through that running lane. Just the nimblest of feats, I guess, too. They're knocking on the red zone here.
You gotta love a 2-minute drill that involves running the ball.
12 rushes, 102 yards so far for Derrick Henry, who had 200 yards in his Week 17 performance against the Titans. This guy's a load, man.
They still have 2 timeouts. Looks like they used one here. Or is it just an injury to Lawrence Guy? There was a game versus Bears. I think Cap was 2 for 10 for 6 yards and an interception. Wonder how many on this list were on the original top 100. I think there's quite a few. I think it was like 80. I remember them mentioning it in one of the shows. Terrell Owens was another controversial guy that they left off.
Randy Moss make it?
Randy Moss made it.
Yeah.
It's hard to leave him off.
How could you? Randy and Jerry better be on that one.
I think people say Jerry's number 1, but Randy's not far behind.
I don't know. I didn't see Jerry in his prime, though. Randy was the funnest to watch.
Jerry Rice's numbers speak for themselves. He's just so much further ahead than everybody else that it's hard to argue he wasn't the best. There's a lot of good receivers right now in the league, though. Like guys that are going to be...
Michael Thomas will be in that conversation.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys specifically.
They don't have the Calvin Johnson, who's retired. But
yeah, he cut his career short. It's like the Barry Sanders stuff.
Yeah, when he played for the Raiders, Randy. Here we go. First down. Play action. Screen to Henry. Oh, he's my.
Gone. Oh, what a hit by Jones.
Was that Cyrus Jones? This guy is unbelievable, man.
I don't know how Henry didn't bowl his way in here.
He's off balance, man.
He didn't see him.
That's one of the biggest hits I've seen in a long time. If that was any other running back, that would have been like unnecessary roughness because it would have been too violent of a hit.
Yeah.
And look at him. He's back in there. No, he's not. Oh, yeah, he is. Jeez. What a load.
Oh, this has gone under review.
Yeah, Moss was at the end of it, though. That year doesn't even count. He got traded twice that year.
Titans-Ravens would have 400 rushing yards, most likely. Moss had times when he quit. Henry, my God, Henry is a man-child. Moss with the Titans as well. He played 6 games for 80 yards, I think. Yeah, Moss was never the guy that's going to show up and play hard every game, but when he decided to, he might have been the best.
Stop. Rice was a gamer. Even though I hate that term gamer. He's a gamer. Dr. Dolittle starring Robert Downey Jr. and he's doing an English accent. So is this like when he did Sherlock Holmes? Oh my goodness. Are there any good movies anymore out? Anybody?
Yeah, The Irishman. It's a little too close to home.
Yeah, Uncut Gems. I really, really, really liked it, Corey Andy. I would hardly call it a sports betting movie. I mean, there is sports betting in it, and that's obviously his downfall. But it's more just degeneracy. It reminded me of one of my first cousins. Like my first cousin is exactly like that. Aside from being Jewish, just Greek instead. Pretty much the same thing. Like it was like identical. All the same bullshit lines. It was great.
I heard something earlier, and it was something this guy did that was really, really great. And the ironic part was they always throw in that it's a Greek person.
Who?
I don't know. Just that's like a typical Greek thing.
Oh yeah, you have to take credit for every Greek person.
This is nice. I'm enjoying this. This game's reminding me of the that Colts Monday night game where they ran the ball. Was that against the Pats as well?
No. It was Colts Sunday night against the Chiefs.
Thank you.
That was my favorite game of the year. Inside Game is the movie. I want to watch that too. You guys have any good props going? We don't really bet props, I got to be honest.
The juice is too high. We were talking about it earlier. For some props, you got to bet like minus 120, meaning you got to be right over 55% of the time. And we just don't put enough research in to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, that's exactly everything he just said.
That sneaks in. Even a feeble motion by the ref.
Yeah. 14-13 Tennessee with 35 seconds left and one timeout for the New England Patriots. All 75 yards coming through Derrick Henry on that drive. What an impressive. Yeah, 11 points some spots too. Marlon Mack had a good game that. The offensive line. There's another one we forgot. Indy's offensive line is awesome.
Yeah. Thanks to Quentin Nelson.
Yeah. Ryan Kelly.
Like Corey said, most of the props where he bets are minus 115 or minus 120. Untouchable, what props do you have again? So there's 35 seconds left in the half. Both teams have one timeout. Surprised to see the Colts possibly moving on from Brissett. A sprained MCL is no joke. Yeah, you never know. They might want to draft somebody. They might want to get kind of their own guy, if that makes sense.
I thought Brissett did admirably this year, though, to be honest.
He did good, but do you want him to be your quarterback if you're trying to win a Super Bowl?
Preferably not, but hey, man, all things considered, Andrew Luck just let him know way too late. I thought that was a selfish move, to be honest. And he got paid his bonus too, so which is fine. I get it, but at least let your team know. Kind of like Witten did the same thing to the Cowboys after the draft.
Colts still have a ton of cap space, so they can definitely add somebody.
JD, Pat's weakness, they can't stop the run at all. Screen passes just killed the run as well. Yeah, that's their biggest fear. And maybe overcompensating for the run gives you a little bit of opening for screen passes. That was just because Henry's not a thought of passing option, so I guess he was disregarded in that play.
Yeah, Brissett didn't even have a full off season. What Grokey said is the over-under has been 20-8 on the unders in wildcard games since 2012. It's a nice win percentage. It's tough because it's such a small sample. 28 games is just not enough to...
It's going to be tough to get the Burkhead one, I got to be honest.
I'm guessing that's over 19 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Edelman over 5.5 receptions. Gronk for the Pats as well. Gronk pulled them too late, so they didn't have the cap space to sign Jared Cook.
Well, they tried to trade him, though. I don't mind Gronk. They tried to trade him to Detroit.
And when we find out and when the teams actually know is probably two different things.
Yeah, that's true.
Luck's the toughest one, but those other two you can kind of like it's not going to hurt you if you draft a tight end if you're Dallas. Oh, a big drop by Logan Ryan.
That would have been a pick 6.
Most likely. I thought the Pats might just sit on this. Only one time out. And I got a feeling they might now. Oh, that's a bad drop from Logan
If that was
Ryan.
Kevin Byard, that would be
he would have at least caught it.
He would at least caught it, yeah.
He was the first one to put his hands up like, come on, man.
Who?
Byard.
Byard, yeah. Pats lose when a rush against 120 yards a game. Feels like it. I mean, they're still in this, though. Yeah, most teams do, yeah.
That interception would have been huge. Was Belichick wrong? He tried trading him last year, and Gronk was banged up last year.
Well, Belichick wanted to keep Garoppolo and get rid of Brady. Like, that was pretty evident, I thought. And that would have been the right move, I feel. Just because you're going to have more longevity out of Garoppolo. You really are. And now he's lost both of his quarterback that he's
groomed so far in Brissett.
Oh, Byard's the best safety in the league. Eddie Jackson's the only other one you can make a case for, I think.
I like the Chargers guy. Derwin James. I take Byard like over that. Justin Reed, that's for sure.
Yeah, Byard's a boss, man.
Jimmy G's overall record has been unreal.
Yeah.
That guy's won a lot of football. Reed, it probably is underrated by the fat guy and I, but
we used to love him. But when he went out of football and came back. He's a bit of a head case, though. There's that. I like the secondary of the Titans. They're loaded. Well, Reed's on Carolina, I thought.
Yeah, he's talking about Justin Reed from Houston.
Oh, Justin Reed.
I think you're thinking of Eric Reed.
Oh, Eric Reed. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. I got it mixed up. Yeah.
The Texans have been just panicking all year with their secondary. They're bringing in any cast-off they can. Like Vernon Hargreaves.
Gary Conley.
Yeah. 2 highly sought-after, I believe, both first-round picks. Or was Conley a second?
So we're at 14-13. The Titans lead the Patriots on the road in New England. Oh, he's Eric Reed's brother. Huh.
That's interesting.
He looks like him, though. Yeah. I haven't watched enough game tape on Justin Reed.
I don't know how that's a selling point on your phone, but hey.
I don't know. You're the one who always tells me that people are more concerned about themselves than anything. You're probably right.
The funny thing is that they've had cameras for forever and they've had slow-mo forever. Yeah. So to put it on a front camera isn't exactly groundbreaking.
I don't know. It only comes with the iPhone 11. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to do that. I could see him trading a 4th-round pick for it or a 3rd, but I don't know if Belichick's going to be the coach next year, man.
And they're not. I don't see them making a push to get Brissett back.
Yeah.
If Brissett, if they let Brissett walk, he might want to go there as a backup, but I don't see him getting a starting job for New England. Unless Brady retires and they decide to draft a guy who's just not ready.
What other options are Eli Manning? Stopgap year with Eli Manning.
Corey Andy, it probably had to do with cap. And the Patriots have been trying to find wide receivers to play this year. They've made a couple big trades.
Trade a second round pick for Sanu.
Yeah. And like you said, they traded Brissett for Dorsett.
I don't know. I mean, I find it hard to I wouldn't be surprised if Belichick, Brady, and Edelman all retire. There's a hot take.
Yeah, it's whatever. When it happens, it happens.
Exactly.
Until then, it's just all fodder.
Yeah, he's exactly right.
I think Brady's back. That's my thought. When Brady says he's retiring, I'll believe it. If anybody else says it, I could care less. Mm-hmm. I'm really interested to see when Brady does finally leave the Pats, what it's going to do for against the spread betting. That's, to me, the most interesting thing I can think of. Especially if even if Belichick stays, it's going to be interesting. Edelman's very banged up. I don't see him retiring, but if Brady retires, I could see Edelman going too.
Yeah, Edelman's been hurt I love Edelman. Edelman's probably my favorite receiver in the NFL. Edelman played corner for the Patriots for a year. I mean, come on, man. Guy just does everything. He's tough. Yeah, something like 60%. It's one of the greatest runs I can think of. It might be more. Mickey Hill. Hello, sir. Happy halftime, Mickey Hill.
What's going on, Mickey? Sorry we missed the early game.
Yeah, we switched up the early game for the late game. I was able to cancel my engagement, so we figured this would be a better one to do it on. Just because it makes more sense.
Someone said the Pats were like 62% against the spread.
Yeah, we haven't fact-checked that, but it makes sense.
That just shows you how the coaching has been there. Against the spread record is really the best way to tell how good coaches are. That was 11 when they lost to the Giants. Good point. I could see.
No Canucks game. I switched it up. I made a choice, so.
Yeah, we both skipped the game.
Yeah, we both had tickets, so. Yeah. Playoffs. Corey's been very active in the comment section today, or in the chat. Dylan Clark, hello, sir. We're getting everyone here. This is great. Zitvono, I believe, is still watching, so. Hey, did you guys see in the comment section on our pick video the guy that said there's 100% in gambling? I don't know why that one just stuck in my craw so much, but it really did. I'm like, I would love to know of 100% investment because then I could just bet everything I own on it, right? He claimed that tomorrow Seattle is 100%, so. Yes, we did, Mickey. It was actually mentioned. Because you said you liked Texans minus 2.5 and you liked Bills plus 3.5. So, yes, we did. 82 comments on that pick video. It's pretty big. There is, if you read the situation right, picking individual games, that is. I'm a serious player. Don't put big money on the Eagles. It's a sure loss. Yikes. And then the other guy said he hit 62% betting every game in the season. A lot of blowhards. Holy. Yeah, neither did we, Mickey. I don't mind the Redskins. Redskins D, I think, is very talented. I don't know. Dwayne Haskins is going to be a good player going forward, but I like the Redskins D. I think they're for real. They still have Alex Smith. I wonder if he comes back and plays. Alex Smith is really good. If Alex Smith comes back and plays like he was, Mickey. Absolutely. I mean, it's possible. Because think about it, he could be the 31 and 33,000, but it was like 32,700. I did the math on it. If you're a serious good handicapper and you were lucky, I could see that maybe. But I don't know. That's why I love the contest, because it's a great bullshit meter. Okay, show us. Oh, you didn't do well. Oh, this is the only time this ever happened. All right, well, you can try it again next week. Oh, my God. Yeah, they don't even have money line available because they don't want to risk it. So, I used to, when I first started betting, I used to take huge basketball dogs all the time. So, I had a lot more money to bet with back then. So, poker was a great career back then. But I was a losing sports bettor back then. So, 14-13, Titans leading the Patriots at halftime. Titans to receive the ball. Let's see if Derrick Henry can keep up his dominant performance. This is pretty good. Oh, Sam, how you doing? How you doing, pal? Now, just to give everyone a heads up, Sam and I have a $1,000 bet of weight loss between me and him from now until December 1st. We might extend it within December so we can do a live weigh-in. So, pretty exciting stuff. I'm not going to say what he weighed in at. I weighed in at 307. I packed it on in the holidays. So, I'm sure we've started off well. I think both of us have. There'll be no in-game pizza today.
There might be. It just depends what time it gets here. I asked...
I can't eat pizza, man.
Well, you don't have to eat it.
I won't.
The best part was I told my wife that we weren't even live. You were just talking to yourself.
Oh, that's so funny. 271 for Sam. There you are.
Did you talk about the guy who said 100%?
Yeah. Do you see that guy? I want to read that comment again. It was just so ridiculous.
If that's the case, we should all pool our money together and bet on the Seahawks.
Yeah. Dude, I think you're going to miss them all. Glad I watched this. You convinced me Seahawks money line is 100%. I like Bills money line, loss, Pats money line, Seahawks money line. I'll just watch the other game. Wish there was such a thing as a 100% win rate. That's what I said. Big Ryan the Fat Guy. There is if you read the situation right. Picking individual games, that is. I'm a serious player. Do not put big money on Eagles. It's a sure loss.
I think Tim's
he's
participated
before. Yes,
yeah.
he has. Can your Google spreadsheet show the percentage of varying picks from yours? It could. I don't think that's that...
Yeah. Sam, I think I'm going to be eating pizza in front of him later. Did you check out what the live line was?
Thanks a lot, Sam. No, I didn't.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
I think we can add that JS715. That wouldn't be that hard, would it?
No, I just need to know exactly what he means.
He means the percentage that's like how often the audience differs from our selections.
Pat's second half is -1.
Because I was always curious about that too, John Stacey, the influence effect of that video. I feel like the people that play the contest are more likely to side with the pick video selections when in doubt. So it is interesting. And then maybe if they're unsure on the equal amount of, like, they're evenly unsure amongst games. Tony Romo said over and over again. Said over and over again. That was pretty good. Nice Eggcorn.
Yeah, John, we can do whatever you want. I'll figure out how to do it. What's going on, Glock? How you doing tonight?
Hello, Glock Lesnar. Hello, for faux Titans.
Did the Titans receive? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they do.
This is nice.
Do the deed then. Yeah, so what I said pretty much.
The picks were pretty even in the contest this week. The biggest pick was New England at 56%, which isn't much. Pretty good job by the lines makers this week, if I have to say.
Yes, he did, Mickey. You missed him. He said the best players in the league were Drew Brees and then somebody and then Michael Thomas. That was his, and Kamara was the best running back in the league. No, Lamar Jackson's number 2. That's what he said. Man, Henry's runs are just awesome. Only 4 games. We'll be multi-times GCI spinning wheel. No, we're doing it the whole playoffs. 1 t-shirt the whole playoffs. All our teams should just fold their hands. Yeah, absolutely, Mickey. You played in the Saints. You might as well just quit, eh?
I find it very interesting that the Saints have better odds than
I love that.
Than the Packers, even though the Packers have a week 1 bye.
I got blown up for suggestions yesterday, and I gave as many nondescript answers as I could, but I mean, no one wants to tackle Henry. Would you, Glock? God, man. That was a nice play from Tannehill. I got to be real. Man, that was a good job by Robert. Has got a good pop on Henry. Henry was able to Pack and Hawks are fool's gold. I don't mind the Packers. Really don't. At that odd set, I don't mind them at all. Hawk, I think. The Hawks are for sure, I think. Doesn't mean they can't win it all. I just don't like any of the pricing. We picked in the contest New England, but there's no money on it.
If it snows, Packers will destroy the Saints, according to Glock.
We shall see. Saints got to win a game first.
Packers Hawks might be fool's gold. It's just tough. It's the price that they're giving it to you is just crazy. 8-1 for any team that gets a first round bye is just crazy.
Ferkser was double teamed. Belichick claimed that Brett Kern was the best punter in the league. My son went to the casino Friday before last. I got Chiefs at, I think, 7.5-1 before they got the bye. That's great. That's great value. It's fantastic.
What did they close at?
You really needed the Miami victory, though. I almost think, do you take Miami money line? Is that a better way of going? Like when you put those into...
What are you talking about specifically?
His son got Chiefs at 7.5-1. But I mean, like, could you hedge by? I mean, like a lot of those good odds were a lot of their good odds. The reason that it's such good value is because Miami beat New England. You know what I mean? So it's almost like a weird, like, substituted value by betting on Miami money line. I don't know.
It gave a little bit extra value. I think he made that bet not thinking that,
but it was a consideration.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Is Lamar locked for MVP?
Yeah.
I think so. So does Big Rye. 9.9%. I mean, who else is contending? Russell Wilson. I mean, is that it?
It's
Derrick Henry, Michael Thomas.
It's Lamar Jackson.
It's Lamar Jackson.
It's not going to be close.
Lamar Jackson's rushing stats are good enough for MVP.
Lamar Jackson right now is minus 1 million to win MVP.
Where is that?
It was 100,000 to 1, or minus 100,000.
I don't. Hey, if I get Chiefs at 7.5-1, I'm taking the Chiefs, Mickey. Of course, I want that price now.
You know what's crazy is to bet Lamar Jackson, it's minus 100,000, and then to get Russell Wilson, it's plus 1,400.
Yeah, that makes any sense. that makes any sense. 14-1. Well, one guy is 99.9%.
I've never even seen a line that high. Minus 100,000.
Not the same reverse play to Edelman. Can be just 1 yard short. That is a first down. Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas City's, the last time I checked, they're plus 443.
That's good value at 7.5.
It's terrific value.
Very good value.
You'll be able to hedge on Kansas City at least throughout the playoffs and still make some money.
You just let it ride too.
So they're going to play New England or Houston in the next round.
At home.
If Tennessee somehow wins this game, the Chiefs against Houston is going to be a bloodbath, I think.
Granny's got a question for you.
It's called Humanoids.
Royalty-free music.
It's royalty-free, but you had to pay for it.
Oh. 3rd and 10 here. Getting hot in here. Holy. Still in the chat? Classic New England lull.
Corey, what's your name in the contest? I can just email you that song.
Mickey, I was at a family function getting pissed about the Bills blowing the lead. My nephew was like, I thought you didn't bet this game. I said, I did, but they're in my contest pick. Yeah. Contest is a big deal. We can't have Dylan passing you.
Thanks.
We're going to have money and bragging rights on the Philadelphia game tomorrow. That'll be the most...
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, big play. He's like, you're getting pissed about a contest. I said, more than my bets. Yeah. There's a lot of blood on that contest. It's been very fun. It's going to be wholly on the Pats. Shaq Mason. Great play by the Titans D.
What's up, Glock?
Hello, sir.
Dylan, haha, screw the Patriots. I'm a Bills fan. I expected that loss. Isn't Mason the right guard? Why? CBS showing him at center. 53% on all games is better performance than 58% of select games. It's true, Mickey. Can I change a pick? I don't know, Glock. It depends on if the game started yet.
You can change tomorrow's picks. Well, then that's unfortunate then. That's some very weird stuff. Pats are one of the biggest chokers of all time. What? Oh, chokers of all time. There's a lot of weird voodoo around this team. I don't know. I never considered that. I picked Phil +2. You want Seahawks? We can change that.
All right, Glock, I updated it to Seattle.
You got Seattle.
And Corey, I emailed it to you. Let me know if you get it. Let me know if it works. Sam said, without some very weird stuff, the Pats are one of the biggest chokers. So all the weird stuff has gone in their favor, is what he's saying. I think that's how Fat Guy and I feel about Seattle.
Yeah,
we feel like they're on the good end of a lot of luck. That Josh Allen lateral, like, I was swearing. I was going, holy F, I can't believe what he's doing. I don't know. Were you there when he...
I saw it.
Yeah.
They did mess that drive up.
This is a New England game? I don't know.
Well, we're going to see. This is Derrick Henry and crew are...
They're playing. They got the edge. They're going to get the ball. They're up 1.
They're 4.5-point dogs, 5-point dogs pending.
It's Tennessee's game to lose right now.
Oh, Mickey, it's not. There's a guy that bets with me every year, and I just raised the over under by 2 wins, and he'll still take the over. Like this year, it was I had Seahawks under 2.5 at even, or under 10.5 at even, and I lost. Last year, I had the Seahawks under. They won by 1 win, so I think it was under 10, and I lost. And the year before, it was under. Either way, I've lost every year to this guy. Like they keep getting enough wins. It's annoying to me. I guess that's one way to stop Derrick Henry is get him to trip.
Untouchable smells a turnover. Tennessee needed that pick 6. It helps. This is crazy. Watching any of these guys play high school, like Julio Jones high school footage it's funny.
Best one is a basketball. John Wall.
John Walls.
Have you seen John Wall's 11-minute high school highlight?
No.
He played with DeMarcus Cousins on the same high school team. He was doing the most ridiculous stuff ever.
When it was Julio, he was a full foot taller than the corner, and he's catching they're throwing like fades to him in the end zone.
Oh yeah. That is the biggest PI I've seen in a long time.
Tajay Sharp.
Denver's kids, yeah.
Yeah, like watching Nicholas Lidstrom play. That's what they always said. It was like a man amongst kids. Oh, it's awesome to hear, Corey. I'm glad that worked. Allen was luck. His knee was down before bat fumble in field goal range, and Robbie dropped a pick 6 in a near game ceiling interception. Yeah, Robbie he forced three turnovers, and somehow none of them stood. Or he had the opportunity to force 3.
If we go to Orth and Rand, it's been good knowing y'all. I think you'll be all right. I think America's pretty good in that realm. I mean, back-to-back World War champs, are you not? Didn't fare so well against guerrilla warfare, though. I will say that much. But how could you beat guerrilla warfare? You have to break the rules of engagement. Now we are in this whole other discussion. 2nd and 6. Tennessee up 14-13 and with the ball.
Mickey, there's always a refuge up here if you need it.
Yeah. They're on New England's 38-yard line. Play action. Oh, sack fumble. Recovered by New England.
It looks like Tannehill might have fallen back on top of that ball.
He got it back. Wow. Recovered by Tannehill. Wow. I thought New England got it. Good job, Tannehill.
Fortuitous bounce. Back in the old breadbasket. Third and 11 for the Titans here. Just under 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Leon Lewis in.
Going deep. Oh. Almost a terrific catch, but not enough space on the boundary for Davis. Russia's the real MVP in both world wars, but they took a big L on the Cold War. I'm going to go contrarian theory and take whatever side Russia sides with in World War III.
That's not bad. Weapons are too big, World War III. I don't think there's going to be much left if that happens. Whoop.
What was the last war fought on American soil?
Pearl Harbor. During the Cold War, they fought proxy wars. Like Russia had a war with Afghanistan, but the U.S. was just supplying all the PLO.
Maybe 9/11.
Yeah, but that's just a terrorist attack. The VC, they got stuff from the USSR too. Can you imagine Millennials getting drafted? I'm the first to go. I'm down. I'm down with the cause. I don't know about this guy over here, but I don't know what they want with an out-of-shape 32-year-old, though.
Yeah, we got Frontline written all over us.
Yeah, but there was a declaration of war with Pearl Harbor. Of course, it came afterwards, but I mean, that would have to. Pearl Harbor is very interesting if you ever read about it.
Yeah, Japan got the short end of that stick, that's for sure.
Japan's impressive, man. Didn't work out for him, but Japan actually attacked the Aleutian Islands as a diversion for the Battle of Midway. It didn't work. I want to look that up now. I've never actually read about that, the Aleutian Islands. I'm not a World War II buff, but I do enjoy it.
I got to go to the epicenter of the Japan bomb dropping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and 9/11 actually, to see the towers.
Technically wasn't a war. I mean, I think it's an integral part of World War II, Korea, India. I mean, it's one of the biggest events. As far as the Pacific campaign, it's probably the biggest one.
What's going on, Jameson? I'm glad to hear work is all done for the night. Get to enjoy the game now.
Right on. Good luck, Jameson.
Untouchable asking if World War III is on the horizon.
We really wouldn't know. The plan of attack was too complicated, yeah. Little divine wind never hurt anybody, though.
Another wide receiver sweep.
With N'Keal Harry.
Corey, it would have been considered a war at the time. There's a lot of U.S. history buffs in the chat.
They actually study their history. We learn about fur trading.
Sir Mackenzie Alexander? Is that his name?
No, that's a cornerback for the, Vikings.
That's pretty funny. Oh,
there's a reception for Jason Finley. Edelman to the 35.
That was an absolute strike by Brady to Edelman.
Due to the beard interfering, that chin strap's got to be a little loose. Oh, that was on a wire.
It had to be. I didn't see. I
The
didn't catch
secondary
the number.
is tight, man. The secondary of the Titans is tight.
Yeah. Like me before visiting John Stacey.
Kelly Wesley Woodyard is still playing. Canadian history, that was a tough one to get through in high school. I got to be real. In the contest, we took New England. We don't really have anybody though.
Apurva, nice to see you again.
No, you didn't. Batted down here. 3rd and 6. Harold Landry, the second, able to bat that down. Good to see you too.
Sam got the in-game under. Yeah, how's the betting season been treating you?
Nice play by
Good
25.
job. Adoree Jackson with excellent coverage on N'Keal Harry.
Crown wants a flag, but I don't think that's appropriate.
If anything, it was offensive pass interference. Excellent coverage from Adoree Jackson. Oh, nice. You had San Francisco to win the NFC. Yeah. Well, the difference is the U.S. students only focus on the U.S. history, whereas in Canada we focus on mostly Canadian, but there's not that much history to even talk about in Canada.
I mean, there is, but it's just not. It's much more dull, you know. I have a special interest in the Second World War. My grandfather was in it, and I have all his war medals and stuff like that. So once you go through his campaign, you kind of learn how he learned about the rest of the war.
Mickey said, this feels like one of those old punch each other in the mouth AFC playoff games.
Yeah, I love those.
Sam went bust. He got an LSU future and Raptors to win division future. That's it.
LSU future is still very live.
I'm loving what Nick Nurse is just. That guy's been the real MVP. He's done an excellent job with the Raptors. Titans have Jackson as a slot. That's how good they are. Yeah. I think they're just moving him around, probably finding matchups they like. Today you had the Bills plus 2.5. I feel cheated that I did not win. Yeah, I guess you could say that was a bad beat. I think it was the first time in history that Bill O'Brien coached team had come back from 16 down to win.
Oh,
Canada's pretty peaceful country aside from French-Canadian War. What major wars were you guys in?
Mickey, we did have the best soldiers. Canadian soldiers got the shit. They're all farm boys from Ontario, like my grandfather. He fudged his birthday. He was only 16 when he showed up, and he did 3.5 tours because he let people that had families go home before him. So he was in the war from 39 to 45. He ran up Juno Beach. He liberated Holland. So they had at the armory in Vancouver. They had the what you call it, the Dutch Canadian. I don't know, not diplomat. What's the term? Like affairs minister gave out medals to 500 of the 500 living soldiers that were left. So I got to go to that. It was pretty cool. That was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago, a little more. Yeah, it was awesome. I got all the medals. It's a pretty decorated case, even though he wasn't like an officer or anything.
Mickey, I was the same way. I just couldn't pull the trigger on that game. I wanted Bills money line or Texans -3 because both of them had good juice, but I just left that game alone.
Oh, Patton's third? Wow. Africa campaign. That's brutal.
I've never heard of that. Patton's third.
George S. Patton. It's a good movie starring George C. Scott that chronicles it. He was a badass general. He took on Nazi Germany's best general, Erwin Rommel. Europe too. He did both. Oh, because they went through Italy, didn't they? After Mickey, after they yeah. So Northern Africa, there's a war there too. Pretty interesting stuff. The uniforms are really cool because there's a lot of gas masks and stuff like that. Second and 5 here.
Huge hole for Henry. It looked like Tennessee jumped a little bit early there, but I think they're going to get the benefit of the doubt.
I like how Tennessee plays. This is a winning formula to me in long term. It's a third and short. You up twice through Sicily, then France. It makes sense. Yeah, they did do Sicily. It's close, too. So I think the European one was in Libya, modern-day Libya, which isn't far from Italy.
Future bets, we like the Packers.
We like the Packers to win the Super Bowl.
The best values on the conference, Green Bay Conference, at about 4-1.
Excellent sneak. Or Derrick Henry will get in free agency. It's tough to say, man. I think
he'll stay. He'll most likely stay in Tennessee. I don't see him going to free agency.
Yeah, what is he going to get? $13 million?
I think he's worth it.
Yeah.
I think he brings that much value to this offense.
He's one of the few running backs we actually think is. Because I don't think he's just not one of the guys that's replaceable, right? Even by a combination of guys. He's just one of the few that isn't. And we're not running back. We think running backs are dispensable. It's not really a big deal who you have back there. He's one of the ones that really, really helps your team. Yeah, we're all right.
The thing with Henry is he really is the identity to this offense. This offense doesn't work without him. Or isn't as efficient as it is.
I think, honestly, you can the amount of money that they garner, Christian McCaffrey and Barkley, I think you can replace those with a committee, like what they do, even though you're going to lose some really special plays. I think with I think with Henry, it's just a grit that just doesn't exist.
Henry's speed and size are just unmatched.
Instead of Barkley, I'd rather pay 5 guys medium $2 million salaries.
Well, you'd rather just draft guys and have them for rookie contracts for 4 years and then move on to the next set of guys.
Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's the Eagles game, right?
Yeah, tomorrow the later game. So Seattle at Philly starts at around 1:30 Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern time.
I'll be looking for some potential steals in April. You already thinking draft for the Lions, eh? Yeah, Canadians in the war, big time, very big time.
The Lions could draft a couple running backs. They have carry on, which is good, but everything else is.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of things.
They can go late though. Yeah, a lot of Russians though, they killed their own though. Yeah, Stalin, communism, socialism, that stuff really works. Fly Eagles fly. Yeah, we're hoping tomorrow. Bragging rights and monetarily. The Lions going to ruin another career. Hey, man, it's got to turn around sometime for the Lions and the Browns.
I'm surprised they decided to stay with their coach. Matt Patricia for the Lions. Yeah, they've confirmed he's staying and the GM's staying.
It's pretty bad.
I don't mind giving guys time to grow their teams, but I just don't know if I've seen enough from him to.
I don't think there is. I think you have it all.
I like how the one time the Browns did decide to stay, they stayed with the worst guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Kitchens was better than Hugh Jackson, which is hilarious to say. Hugh Jackson is so bad. I don't even know how he can. He really thought he got a raw deal from the Browns.
What did he win? One game? There's the interception that Untouchable kept calling.
Yeah, he won one game. Or no, was it two? No. He won one game in 2 years, and then he got fired mid-season. I like how he blamed. You know what? He blamed the Sashi Brown. If he played Terrell Pryor, he would have won 6-10.
Well, that's what Haslam's saying. He's going to find a coach GM that work in harmony. He's been hiring them separately this entire time, which
is idiotic.
I don't understand. Could you imagine if we brought someone else off the street to work with you to make picks?
Yeah,
you guys had to agree with each pick.
He went 3-36-1, and he never won a road game. 0-20.
That's crazy. Pat's going for it all. Is that Tremaine Brock, senior in the secondary for Tennessee? It sure looked like it.
Tremaine Brock, yep.
31-year-old, 10-year veteran.
I didn't know he was on the secondary. That's their I can't even. Their secondary's loaded, man.
Pedden was the guy I liked the most that the Browns have had over the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's true, but yeah, we liked Kyle Shanahan a lot. We loved Kyle Shanahan. Pedden was probably the best.
He was the best. I got the logic of your pack pick, but wouldn't have been even more valuable before they got the bye.
Oh my God, Mickey Hill, fantastic comment. Reception for Jason Finley's Julian Edelman prop.
Corey likes what Vrabel's done with the Titans over the last 2 seasons.
How are you going to catch him then, Dylan? You have the same picks as he does.
Vrabel's had more quality wins, in my honest opinion, than Malarkey did. They weren't going to win that much with Malarkey. Vrabel seems to have the respect of his players. Dylan's confident he's going to catch them in the divisional round. All of those pools are done for regular season. It's no playoff stuff, right? Mitch said he's taking whoever's playing Green Bay in the divisional round. It's fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mickey Hill calling it that Tannehill's going to get away from Tennessee.
Possibly. Titans have been pretty cheap lately, to be honest.
Corey didn't like that play call in 3rd and 3.
Oh.
And a punt into the end zone.
Yeah, FanDuel's kind of rewriting how Sportsbook's supposed to be done. So there's been some very juicy lines on FanDuel, but the limits are pretty low on some of the games from what I hear. Seahawks at 49ers for 24-1. I don't know if that's bad or good.
Well, he said the thing is that's impossible.
How is it impossible?
It's impossible now because
No, it isn't. Both teams just went out.
Yeah, you're right. I'm getting the sides mixed up.
Yeah.
Approval. The tough part is that so many things have to happen for that 24-1.
Yeah, we'll be taking the Vikings. Saints at Green Bay. I think it should be Green Bay minus. Gut, I think the true line should be Green Bay -3. I think that it'll come out as Green Bay -1 or pick.
It's pretty crazy. So for San Fran to play Seattle and Minnesota both have to win. And then San Fran has to win and Seattle has to beat Green Bay in Green Bay. So you need all those things to happen for that to hit.
I think pick them. Saints -3. Dylan, the book, it's not going to come out Saints -3. You can think that. That's fine if you think the Saints are 3-point favorites on the road. That's not unreasonable. Saying that the book's going to put that out is insane. I think the book puts it out as a pick 'em. Yeah. Maybe Green Bay -1. Pick 'em sounds right.
So I'm not sure if Fat Guy answered this, but we'll be taking the Vikings at 8 points.
Yeah. Giving, yeah, maybe.
Plus, with FanDuel, you can get in so easily with your bank or PayPal. Good for responsible gamblers. You were talking about Saints at Green Bay's line. I got a feeling the Saints are going to be favored with, like the Saints to win the Super Bowl are just
That's
under
fair,
6-1, and Green Bay's 8.5-1. It makes no sense to me. I think that line should be Green Bay -3, but I think it's going to be probably New Orleans -2.5.
I think it's -1 or a pick 'em. I really do.
It just
they're
depends.
Not a Perva. No.
It just depends where they want people betting. Wherever that line comes out, it'll be a really nice indicator to see which side the sports books like.
Wow, Dylan. I think they are, Dylan. I really do. Green Bay has a better than 3-point home field advantage, Dylan. I mean, historically. So That would indicate that New Orleans is slightly better than them. Yeah, there is no Vince Wilfork for Corey. Nobody. 3rd and 5 here.
Whoever, we'll find out who the Texans play next round after this game. Oh, that's big.
What a hit. Gilmore might have hurt himself.
The brackets aren't fixed. It depends on the higher seed always plays the lowest seed.
Saints -1. Yeah.
Mickey's gonna check his yards per play differentials. FanDuel will bankrupt so many gambling addicts. Should be Green Bay -3. Big Rye, get the fuck out. They aren't even teams, lol.
Whoa, coarse language, Big Rye.
Danny Shelton isn't having a huge impact. Figured he'd be key like Wilfork. It's tough to know how much of a difference those guys make because it usually affects the play calling more than anything. It's not really something you see, but it's something that if you're planning that game, I remember Hugh Jackson said he couldn't run on Baltimore because of Brandon Williams.
That was so dumb.
Well, it's what he said. That's how much of a difference it made.
Hugh Jackson's a moron.
He is a moron, and that's why they lost so many games. Saints have better offense and defense, and Breeze is greatly outplaying Rodgers. How is it even? Well, Green Bay's at home, and they play outdoors. The nice pocket movement and Gilmore out. Looks like Wynn knocked out. Okay, I didn't know that. Sorry, still new to NFL. That's okay. The NFL is exciting. The playoffs are exciting because so much stuff happens. If it was Dylan, if the Saints had a home game, like the Saints would probably be 4.5-point favorites. Do you guys think we are seeing the last of Tom Brady today? Probably not.
I think so.
That's what I'm saying. It's at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Oh, Sam O'Henry. I just saw that. Wow.
That's pretty good. Browns were able to run for 250 because Brandon Williams was out. It just shows you how the mentality of a team can change from your coach. Coach is obviously telling the players we can't run on this guy. And then when he's out, it's like, oh, we can definitely run on him. That mentality.
Different coaches, different year, but yeah. Man, if you have Chubb, I'm running on any team. I don't care which team it is. 3rd and 2.
Mickey's got the Saints -4 on a neutral field. So it just depends what home field you got for Green Bay. I think for us, it's 3.5.
Good job, Tannehill.
So that puts Saints as 0.5 point favorite on the road. Right, but he said it should be -3. That means they are even teams, but they aren't. I don't care where the game is. Packs have no chance. The Niners and Seahawks do.
There is. They have a chance, Dylan. Everyone has a chance. There's no 100%.
This year, home field advantage has actually been negative by 0.2 points, which is hard to believe. I think that's
27. Look at you.
I think that's unprecedented. John Stacy lives in Wisconsin. It's cold outside and it's not even normal January weather. Still cold AF.
Yeah, I like the Packers. I like the Packers' chances.
I think a lot of people are low on the Packers and high on the Saints. So that's why this line is going to be very interesting to me. If it comes out as like Green Bay -3, I'm going to be a little bit worried.
Saints still have to win tomorrow, though.
Or sorry, if it comes out Green Bay -3, I'm going to be pretty confident in Green Bay. If it's Saints -2.5, I'm going to be worried. I'm interested to see where they want people betting.
Play nice, Dylan. Maybe -2 is my guess, yeah.
Well, Mickey, I was wondering if John thinks Green Bay -2 is his guess. I was
no
gonna
one's
see
low
if,
on the Saints, Corey. Go ahead, Big Rye, sorry.
I was Mickey said he was scared of the Texans -2.5 because of the home field advantage. I remember Mickey told us earlier in the year that he had Texans as the best home field advantage out of any team, which was a surprise to you and I. And I was gonna be curious if Mickey took his own advice that he had left in the comment section at the start of the week by saying at 2.5 he likes Houston, at 3.5 he likes Buffalo, because that game finished on the nose at 3 points. But he probably saw the same things that I saw, that Buffalo was the market play to make today.
Fumble.
Looks like Henry fell on that. Surprise Titans moving the ball right on the Pats. That's what I was asking Big where I said people are low on the Saints. If I said that, I just misspoke. I'm thinking that people are low on the Packers just because of the odds. It's weird to me that the Saints are bigger favorites to win the Super Bowl than Green Bay, even though the Saints have to play an extra game. I agree with what Mickey said. Buffalo's the better team, but Texans had the home field advantage. Texans had the better quarterback, yeah. Josh Allen was inconsistent. He had flashes of brilliance and flashes of poor play. The Bills are a scary team moving forward.
Comeback player of the year, that's interesting. I think he had an MVP caliber season. Ryan Tannehill did for the games he played.
I think Tannehill would be an excellent player to win comeback player of the year.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, it could be Garoppolo as well.
Yes, Garoppolo. That's a great one, whoever said that.
Corey said that one. Mickey said Texans are the worst team in playoffs. I would agree.
I would agree as well. We used to love the Texans.
Not a big deal, that penalty. It'd be nice. It would have been nice if Tennessee could score here, because Brady's done this so much in his career. He could play like shit an entire game and put it together for the last few minutes. If Texans had Fuller, you probably would have taken them. A lot of stuff hinges on Fuller playing for people I find with the Texans.
This is 2 straight penalties to give two straight penalties, a false start and a delay of game, so Tennessee can get a better punting range.
Yeah, anything inside the 40s is the ideal spot to punt. I don't know if they don't have a guy at the bottom, a fake punt would be interesting. I can't see what's going on back there. Yeah, this is pointless, though. They're going to decline it. Dylan Clark said Buffalo money line was a great bet. Houston barely pulled it off, so I ain't mad about losing that one. That was the bet I was thinking of making. Dylan Clark was Buffalo money line because it closed at 2.5, and the betting market was on Buffalo's side as far as the sharps. But those are the breaks. Houston came back and won. Variable doing what Belichick did versus Jets, trying to run the clock with 2 straight penalties. Wonder what the odds will be for Houston. Well, to win the Super Bowl, they were 35-1, so you can pretty much just cut that in half. They're going to be like 20-1. Maybe a little more, maybe 25-1 for Super Bowl. Looks like he pinned him between at the 9.
9-yard line. Not that bad. Mitchell Schwartz is one of the best right tackles in the league. We liked him when he was on Cleveland. They had the best tackle combo. Joe Thomas, Mitchell Schwartz. That team should have done better. Brandon Whedon, really?
Michigan said if the Titans win this game, I'm taking Houston. Houston went to Kansas City and won after being down 13-0. Watt made an impact on the second half. All this drama for this. Schwartz is one of the best right tackles in the league. Spread for next week. Well, basically it here, right? It would be a good bet. He'll pick the worst team, better value. Dylan Clark, you guys are going to love my name for this week's picks, just saying.
No, don't worry.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I love the names. I like the Cincinnati Bengals one last week. That was funny. Yeah, autocorrect is tough. Yeah, Matt Greco and Bitonio
was a fun time for the Browns.
How are we not good with that offensive line?
Coaching.
Yeah. You had 4 Pro Bowlers.
And now they got one of the worst offensive lines and everything else figured out.
Yeah, sure. I would hardly call everything else figured out, but in theory.
Roster-wise, it's okay.
I don't want the kissing cousins on the team anymore.
No, but honestly, those guys, it sucks. It takes up a lot of your cap, but the real problem was the coaching.
Yes, I agree. I don't think he said that, Dylan.
Dylan wants to be able to take slow-mo selfies. I think I'm good with stills from you, Dylan. Yeah, 80s Browns. That was before our time. Dylan full of shit. But ownership forced Pedden's hand to play Manziel. Yeah. Haslam's the real problem in Cleveland.
We were really upset when they took Manziel over Bridgewater. We were choked.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We were choked. Remember that day?
Twice.
We're like, what? No. And who'd they take? Justin Gilbert and Johnny Manziel? 2 guys that didn't even last 3 years in the league. Yeah, Hoyer tore his ACL, though. They were okay. They did lead the division after week 4 or whatever, week 5. That was that was like the most impressive thing in years. I was big into the Browns back then.
So Pats start on their own 11.
I thought it was
4
the
minutes.
9-yard line.
Yeah, they've changed that. 4:44 left on the clock. Dump off to James White here. He picks up the first down and more. He's going to get to the 31. It's a big play to start this drive. New England only needs a field goal. They've got 4 minutes, 30 seconds to work with, so the clock isn't an issue, and all 3 timeouts. A benefit for Tennessee, they got all 3 timeouts too, so they can stop the clock if need be. I don't know if the Titans wanted... They ran off that time, but I don't know if they wanted to do that.
For a cover, Jameson, yes. Yeah, the Watkins pick I knew would be a joke.
Johnny Football was a god, and we were lucky to have witnessed his era.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, he beat the Tennessee Titans at home when the defense got 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
And he threw up 2 prayers to Travis Benjamin. Dropped by Edelman. Sure-handed. That does suck for your prop.
3rd and 6 for the Pats. Tennessee putting a lot of stock on their defense with how they've handled these last few minutes.
Defense is pretty good, man.
It is good. Let's see if they can get this stop. Yes, they do. Dorsett seemed like he was in La La Land there. But I think it was just an errant throw by Brady after going through his reads. It's a win by the Titans secondary. It looks like the Pats are going to punt here. I don't like their chances of winning this game now.
No, I don't. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Tennessee running out the clock.
I don't think so.
Derrick Henry will make them derelict his balls. This will be the most important drive of Derrick Henry's career so far.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the time of the game where he can take it to the house. If you're Baltimore, would you rather see Houston or Tennessee?
Oh, Houston.
Yeah.
Tennessee can grind you. No way, man. Henry's almost got 30 carries. They're not messing around this game.
Well, because of this timeout, see if I can catch up on some of the chat.
That's 29. That's 29 rushes for Derrick Henry.
All right, 2nd and 8 for the Titans. Their own 15. They're audibling to a wishbone. It looks like it's going to be a procedural penalty. I got a feeling this is going to go against the Titans. They were a mess there. I want to see a replay of this. I think they're saying it's where Lewin lined up. That's some bad luck. Derrick Henry still does a good job to pick up about 4 yards there on 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd and long. It's going to be hard to argue Derrick Henry not being in the top 5 for fantasy next year. Yeah, they could out physical the Ravens. It's going to be 3rd and 8. I'd like to see an underdog win the Super Bowl, though. Titans are going to F this up. He's got Ferkser, and they give him the forward progress so the clock runs. This is a disaster for the Patriots. I'm with Sam here. Haha, suck it, Pats. I can't believe Anthony Ferkser has been like the go-to target tonight for Ryan Tannehill. against this secondary. This is funny. Also, that was a very generous forward progress from the ref. Tennessee picks up a first down. Anthony Firkser, 3rd and 8.
Oh.
Oh, it looks like Tennessee had to take a timeout.
Oh, I don't like this. Well, maybe not.
Ideally, they have a play that gets them to the 2-minute warning. Last thing you want is the Pats to be able to take a timeout. Corey Andy, they had to throw it there. Tannehill steal of the year. They gave up a 6th, right?
Something like that.
If he gets him a playoff win, it's going to be definitely worth it. He got him into the playoffs
already MVP caliber season.
Yeah, it's
the
true.
Games he played. This is first round stuff he produced. This guy's a boss.
The Tennessee Titans are a first down away from winning this game. Sam says game, set, and match. Corey says, wow, Edelman had a first down, dropped wide
but
open.
it's virtually game over.
New England can still stop the clock once. If Tennessee keeps this clock moving on all three, they're going to be able to punt with about 30 seconds left. So theoretically, if the Titans pick up a first down, this game's done. If the Titans pick up a first down and the clock doesn't stop, like if they don't run out of bounds, this game's done.
They don't Marion Barber it.
Yeah. Marion Barber did that twice, by the way, in a game.
Yeah, that's not even fun.
If Tennessee doesn't pick up the first down, the Pats are going to get the ball back with about 20 seconds left, no timeouts, and they're going to be pinned probably inside their own 20. Mickey said he's seen the Titans shit the bed too many times. Minkah Fitzpatrick was traded for a first. Miami did an excellent job getting draft picks for players.
Two firsts for Laramie Tunsil. A first for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Pats need a Music City miracle at best. Pats need a fumble. That's what they need. Really surprised the Titans have done this in the first. Henry with that touchdown, then Edelman drop and the Tannehill thrown there. They only got a 6 for Tannehill though. Well,
Miami has 3 first-round picks in the first round.
That's crazy.
3 first-round picks next year, rather. I don't know why I said it that way. Wow.
That team's going to be good.
I like Fitzpatrick as a quarterback. Obviously, they're going to be looking for someone else with the pick they have, but I mean, I feel like that's a good transitional period.
They're drafting 5th. Yeah, they finished with 5 wins. That's insane. They finished with a better record than 4 other teams.
They're going to have the 5th, 18th, and 25th pick. Wow.
FanDuel's still giving minus 1,200 for a Titans victory. It's not free money, but that's about right.
That.
It's whatever, 94% for Tennessee to win.
Man, Raiders have 2 first-round picks again next year.
That's excellent.
Raiders are going to be good. The quarterback part's the only thing I have an issue with. I like management and coaching. Here we go, 2nd and 9.
So Pats are out of timeouts. It's 3rd and 9. There's 1:11 left on the clock. I think they're holding out hope that they're going to throw the ball here, but there's not a chance the Titans are going to throw this ball.
No.
They're going to be running this ball if they have any sense. So at 1:11, you can take 40 seconds off of that. There's going to be somewhere between 25, 31 seconds left on the clock.
Keep calling Curtin their weapon.
The more interesting thing to me is if Tennessee takes a timeout here, or if they just take the penalty.
I think you take a timeout.
There's going to be 25 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's one play though, Corey. Just one play. It's hard to argue that Pats have been a better team in this game, to be honest. I love this strategy from
Sam said that PAT on Titans touchdown was just good too, looking at some revisionist history. If Las Vegas can draft Herbert, I think they'd be dangerous. Corey said getting the ball back. Can't believe Edelman dropped that. Pats have had receivers make some follies in the
minus
playoffs.
650. I love that. I love that. That's a gut check though.
I think it's whatever.
I think it's a fantastic price.
If the Pats block this punt, they're going to win this game.
Yeah. They've been kind of prepping for it.
Yeah, I have no clue why you even have a gunner out. You just punt this one out the end zone with max protect. It's a low line drive kick. They didn't have anyone back to return it. Do not touch that ball. Okay, good job. Excellent job. 15 seconds to score from the 1 yard line. Corey, why did they let the ball bounce? It's because they went all out pressure there. They were trying to block that punt. Their best chance of winning was blocking a punt more than a return.
They've employed this strategy all year. I was wondering if it was going to come to fruition here.
I'm surprised that they had two gunners lined up, even though one of the gunners didn't even have a guy on him.
Pick 6, wow. Oh.
Makes sense. And it's to Logan Ryan, the expatriate.
Wow.
The New England Patriots are out of the playoffs.
Well, not officially.
Not officially. This actually is, it's probably easier to score a touchdown on a return than it is from the one.
He should have gone down. Yeah, he should have. Hi-ho, the witch is dead. I'd go for 2 here. I don't mind that. He should have gone down. I don't know why he ran that in.
Sam said he'd go for 2 here. I think it's still better to go for 1, put yourself up 8, and force them to get the 2-point
I think
conversion.
with the missed padding, it's better to go for 2, because then you're at worst a push. Unless you give up a 2.
Logan Redemption Ryan. New England still has a chance. It's not over. They have a kick return now. It's never over. Told you so. With 2, you can still get some more time off the clock, right? No, the clock stopped, Papuvra. Vrabel seems like the best coach to come from Pars.
I don't think he can be humiliated in Perva. He's the best coach probably ever between him and Don Shula. So I don't think this is a humiliation. He made the playoffs. He lost.
If they get this 2-point conversion, this game's over.
It's very unlikely, Dylan. Yeah. No, he didn't. Yes, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. You want to watch them suffer? They lost the game. I wouldn't call this suffering. Week 8, we're minus 225 Super Bowl winners in your book. That's a ripoff. This will be the fastest post-game handshake in history. Music Stereo Miracle. Yes, it could happen.
If I'm not mistaken, if the Pats beat Miami, they would have got this bye, right? So they wouldn't have had to play this game? Because they had something to play for against Miami. That's why they were 16.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
So it just shows you how that loss to Miami came back to bite them.
Any of their losses, really.
And that's why it's such a huge advantage future-wise to take teams that have the first-round bye. One, they get the home field advantage when they do have to play that first game. And two, they don't have to play this game, which is it's no gimme. It's no gimme going up against any wildcard team.
Any NFL team. Any professional team.
Oh, no. Now,
Titans 2013.
We can officially say Vrabel is jacked. I don't blame him.
Oh, yeah, that was the quickest handshake.
So the problem with this is that the Titans are treating this like they just won the Super Bowl.
They got 3 more games, man.
Yeah, this is.
We love the Titans. Don't get me wrong, but
Vrabel's very excited.
He's got to curb it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be fading the Titans next week. Yeah, those two were big.
Watching Pats lose make me smile. I think this is a very happy chat tonight. The guy in my fantasy league won the first 8 weeks only because he had Pats defense and Austin Eckler.
How did Eckler make it to round 15?
Yeah, didn't even see them shake hands. The very affluent and well-spoken Matthew Slater.
204 yards from scrimmage. Derrick Henry.
It's impressive. $34 carries, 5.4 average.
It said that 34 rushes. It said most in franchise history was 182 yards. I would imagine 34 carries has got to be the most.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. Untouchable Jay said that was Tennessee's Super Bowl. Vrabel came from Houston and arguably a better coach than Bill O'Brien. I'm going to go look at yards per play differential and see what I think lines will be. Be right back from Mickey Hill. That 3rd and goal where they handed the ball to Michelle was the game. Brady didn't sneak and they kicked it from the 1. It's a very good point, Corey. Henry broke George's postseason record. Yeah, Eddie George. He might have had more carries in a game.
Tennessee at Baltimore. That's a good game. Wow.
Good for the Titans. I hope they give us an entertaining game in Baltimore next week. And so what's the other matchup? It's going to be Houston, Kansas City. Tennessee was 44-1 to win the Super Bowl start of this game.
100-1 to start the year.
Dylan Clark said, good for the Titans. I hope they give us, or I already read that one. I do hope they give us an entertaining game. That's like the one team I think Baltimore probably doesn't want to go against.
Titans?
Yeah.
Titans are tough for them, I think.
Yeah, Titans are tough for anybody in the playoffs.
I think Kansas City matches up with Tennessee well. They can beat them with speed.
Well, Kansas City can just drop 40 points on you.
That's what I mean. Although, like that goes contrarian to what, Kansas City's susceptible to what Indy did to them, right? So,
look at headlines. Let's make some predictions. Houston at Kansas City.
Houston at Kansas City. I'm gonna say Kansas City minus 5.5.
I'm gonna go -7.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee at Baltimore.
Baltimore minus 6.5.
I'm gonna say Baltimore minus 7.5.
It will be live tomorrow. Don't worry. KC -4 from JS715. The name that name of the week, man.
.538 probably has lines out already. Well, they have Baltimore as 13-point favorites, and they have Kansas City as 11-point favorites. Sam's got Kansas City -4.5, Baltimore -7. Corey said Titans were 47% kicking this year?
Something horrible like that. Suckup was one of the best kickers in the league 2 years ago, completion-wise. So.
Yeah, he came into this year hurt, never played, and then when he did come back, he didn't look the same. Those are not actual lines. Those are projected lines. If those were the actual lines, we'd be all over them right now.
I think it'll both be -6.5. I don't think Kansas City's as big of a favorite as Baltimore is. At least in the eyes of the public and the bookmakers. Titans also had Santos and Parkey. Yeah, that's true. Suckup was hurt for most of the year. I like Ryan Suckup.
Mickey thinks they're going to both be 6.5. I think a lot of people are going to be betting Baltimore, and I think a lot of people are going to be betting Kansas City. That's why I think it's going to be closer to 7.5.
I'm interested, that's for sure.
We don't have lines, Mickey. We're just making projections right now. .538 has it at 11 and 13, respectively. Fat Guy, what's your projected lines again?
I like 5.5 for KC and 6.5 for Baltimore.
I think it's going to be 7 Kansas City, 7.5 Baltimore. Jake Jacobs is going to be ecstatic. His Tennessee Titans are through to the next round.
Who, JJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Corey Andy said to score 7 points versus Buffalo and 0 the next week versus Denver, and then to see Tannehill do this is
it's
pretty impressive.
Buffalo and Denver are good picks, though. Or good teams, rather.
Mickey said he's going to be all over the Titans if that's the case.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're just going off projections. 538 has them as 11-point underdogs. Sorry, 13-point underdogs versus Baltimore.
Well, yeah, I would love that. Thank you. I would love Titans plus 13 and the under.
Mickey thinks Kansas City will embarrass Texans. That's exactly what I said too.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? Mariota stock has to be low, yeah. I don't know. He played today. Dylan Toddfield has Ravens -5. Dylan, if it was Ravens -5, where would you go? Who would you pick? Eagles are now -120.
That's interesting.
Damn. I wish I got the money line now. Yeah, they're -1.5 at Pinnacle. Despite only 21% of bettors. That's a very nice reverse line movement for a playoff game.
Yeah, Eagles are a big bet tomorrow.
I think I might do 3 units tomorrow on Philly. I haven't done a 3-unit single game bet this year.
I think that's going to be the game tomorrow.
Yeah. Dylan would be on the Ravens if it was -5. What would the line have to be, Dylan, for you to take the Titans?
Great question.
Mike Gifford, Titans had 0 pass rush today and was pathetic. Imagine Mahomes with all that time. Brings up a good point. That Titans defense is still pretty good. Sam said if you want to take Texans, likely parlay with the over.
Well, if you can get correlation parlays, those are really hard to get down. I don't know if there's any. No, I'm actually good, Jose.
Mickey,
I'm letting Big Rye take the reins right now. He's doing a good job.
Mickey said that he made a new friend again this week. I didn't see it.
Did he?
I haven't looked at.
Oh, Sven. Sven. Yeah, I did all of them, so it was good.
Oh, I see it here, Mickey. You must be on crack. You're probably watching ESPN. Let me guess, you're. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like this. Mickey Hill fair, and no, I'm not coming back on Monday, even if the Hawks win.
Y'all notice the Panthers haven't been as salty this year? Yes, I have noticed. I have noticed that. Hey, fantastic, Corey. We'll catch you then.
Yeah, thanks for all the chats today. Really appreciate it. Helps us, brings up lots of interesting things that we get to talk about. Sam said, I think Seahawks game will come down to the wire. Winning margin 3 or less might be a good play. Untouchables on an offshore account. Dylan would take the Titans at +7. It kind of, that's interesting to me. I figured Dylan would be all over the Ravens. What did you have the line at again? 6.5?
Yeah. I would tease Titans and Texans. I never liked teasing. I never liked the idea of it either. That was kind of refreshing. The weird thing is, though, I expected some grand scheme from New England, and it just wasn't there. It's out of gas.
I figured they just sell out on the run. Like, there's things you can do to not let Derrick Henry get 182 yards.
Yeah, like he's 34 carries. I wonder if there's any roto updates coming up.
Dilla would never admit it, but he's adapting. It could be true, Mickey.
I think, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, if the lines are 11 and 17, that's excellent. But the problem with teasing those teams, Approver, is the price that you're going to get. So if you tease them, you have to win like 70% of the time. So it's the same as betting them against the spread at whatever the spread is. Usually betting whatever the spread is that they provide you is going to give you the best odds. Starting to beat us at our own game. Yeah, New England sold me out. Yeah, it's unfortunate, untouchable. How many receptions did Edelman finish with?
Take a look here. I got it handy somewhere. Three
catches for Edelman. How many carries did, or how many yards did Burkhead have? 4. Yeah, they really let you down today.
He's dangerous on those props.
Props are just weird. Like, if you had Burkhead over 5 yards, you'd be like, oh, this is a lock.
No, I wouldn't.
And then the guy puts up 4.
I wouldn't have.
Like, I'm using a proverbial lock.
Yes.
Like, there's certain props that you see that you're just like, there's too much value. Like, did Brady have any rushing yards?
I don't think so.
I know his was half a yard.
Nope.
And
6 ball carriers, none of them him.
Hugo Titans receivers. I want to see how many catches Tajay Sharp had.
1.
Look at that. No Titan had more than 2 catches.
And the 2 guys that did have 2 catches were McCole Pruitt and Anthony Ferkser. Yikes. 1 catch for everyone. A.J. Brown, who best receiver. Corey Davis had nothing. Wow. There you go. They had 40 rushes. 2 by Dion Lewis, 4 by Ryan Tannehill, 34 by Derrick Henry.
9 completions in the game.
9. 34. That's how you win a football game, man.
34. Well, how many rushes total? 34, 38, 40,
40.
And 9 completions.
That'll do it. They were good on defense, too.
They were good. They held the Pats to 13 points.
They didn't get a sack. Unbelievable. What a game.
Yeah, that's what, I forget who it was. Jose says, to be honest, an unstoppable rookie bet scares me since Cam Newton's Super Bowl appearance.
Well, no, Lamar Jackson isn't a rookie.
Mickey thinks that as good as the opening Ravens line will look, wait, because it will get better.
I think you buy a little bit now and then you worry and then you continue to buy later.
Well, we have to wait and see what the line is.
Well,
we don't know.
Assuming it's a really good one.
If it comes out if it actually comes out Ravens minus 13.5, like, I'm going to be scared shitless.
Yo, yeah, something's up.
Yeah, like something's up. If it opens as like Ravens as 4-point favorites, then which would never happen because everybody would be betting the Ravens. Prop of the day was Josh Allen rushing yards over. How about Josh Allen receiving touchdowns?
Yeah.
That couldn't have been 1.5. Josh Allen had more receiving yards than DeAndre Hopkins in the first half.
Yeah, he probably had more rushing yards than every other running back.
Yeah, that's true.
He busted a nice one in the beginning.
When do you think we're going to stop, like, on 4th and 30s and 3rd and 24s. When do you think we're going to stop seeing teams drop 8 guys into zone behind?
I don't know. If anything, you're ripe to get even more yardage knocked off with a sack. Like, just, I don't know, play 3 deep, but rush 4 or 5 still. And I've never understood that.
I don't get it.
I'm interested.
The best was the Dallas Kansas City game when Tyreek Hill scored the touchdown at the end of half.
Oh my goodness! Actually, I'm gonna say the best one is when the what's his name, Ray Rice, 4th and 27 against the Chargers to get in the playoffs to win, end up winning the Super Bowl. After Kyle Shanahan blows another Super Bowl, yeah. That was insane. Oh, Atlanta. $28-3.
Kyle Shanahan looks like a guy you should be playing underground poker games against.
He does look like a smarmy poker player, at least the new versions. There's a lot of hipsters that play poker now. It's unsettling.
Tankathon's a nice, interesting.
I like this website.
I like the design of their table. Mickey Hill said they're going to give the Ravens 3 points for home field advantage where it should be like 2. Plus, they're so overvalued by the public, they're going to tack on a couple of more points. They'll be overvalued by 3 points minimum.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Tomorrow we like the Vikings plus 8.
We really like the Eagles.
Eagles money line or Eagles minus 2.5, depending on where this closes. There's not going to be any lines out for next week yet. It's just going to be our predictions.
We'll have to do a Monday night video.
FanDuel might have lines out, but I don't have access to FanDuel.
Yeah, we all like the Eagles. We're big on it. Philadelphia. I'm starting early.
Yeah, Mickey said they've been a wounded animal talking about the Eagles.
Yeah. Jumping on this.
Every year there's that one team that kind of like limps into the playoffs and then does well. Eagles were...
You could say Titans. That team. They got a road victory against New England in the playoffs. Doesn't happen often.
No. Somehow Ryan Tannehill picks up his first win in Foxborough. He's now 1-6.
There you go. There you go.
Jameson said their 2 tight end set has been working out for them.
Oh, absolutely.
New England screwed my parlay with Philly and Houston. That's
no more parlays. How many times we got to tell you guys? It's the same sad story every time.
If you just bet each one of those money lines, you're probably going to be more statistically, you're going to be more profitable for the long run.
Yes. I'm on the Captain Morgan tonight. I haven't drank Captain Mo's in forever.
I don't think I've ever had Captain Morgan's.
That's okay. I actually don't mind Captain Morgan white rum either. It's cheap, but it's fine. I'll get it done.
I could just imagine Mickey watching the entire stream with his leg up.
Yeah,
like the commercials. Did you guys know they built a statue outside Eagle Stadium of calling the Philly special play?
I did know that.
I did see that.
I did know that. It's pretty awesome, though. I don't know. It's just cool.
Untouchable said, I don't listen.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's times like, sometimes you just need to do it to learn. It doesn't mean that you're not going to do a parlay again. We just suggest against it.
I think I'm as effed up as my wife's checkbook. Oh. The thing too is like you're looking for entertainment, and unfortunately, Big Ryan the fat guy is trying to sell responsibility.
You're surrounded by Philly fans in northern Delaware.
Yes, JS715. We're going. The wildcard leaderboard goes to like the week. The week will essentially be the playoffs. So we'll give out one T-shirt for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because it's too hard to, like, with tiebreakers.
There was a draw today, so it's pretty easy to tell. Either you won this Tennessee game or you took the Pats and you took a loss. So not much to report or see.
Yeah. The leaderboard will have both, though. Jake Jacobs won the regular season, though. I think you're under there as a T-shirt time.
There's not that many. There's like 40 people.
Yeah. I think you had the highest. If you're T-shirt time, I think you had the highest against the spread percentage between you and Zitvono for a reasonable sample. You guys were ridiculous. If you played a whole year, you would have probably won.
I gotta see what this weird circle at the top of Delaware is. Oh yeah. Yeah, what's with that? I want to know who took out the
why is it so
protractor.
precise? It's like Da Vinci trying to do it freehand. That's what that's a fable that Da Vinci could do a perfect circle freehand. Like, who comes up with this shit?
Why does that matter?
I feel like I only missed 1 week. Not sure I missed so many games. Yeah, I'm not sure either.
John, there's a chance you might have used a different email or had a different spelling. I can look back and change that.
It's a raise from a fixed point. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just bizarre.
I want to know who decided on that.
I'm 30 minutes from the link. Yeah. That ain't far away at all. My friend from New Jersey, I have a close friend from New Jersey, and he's from Cherry Hill, and he loves the Eagles. He said some of them live in his neighborhood. Yeah, the Bill Burr rant is classic. I did listen to that. I'm going to see him. He's coming in February to Vancouver. Bill Burr. Tickets are very expensive, though.
You're going to go?
Yeah.
I actually don't like Bill Burr, which is surprising.
I like him. It's a toque, Jason, but yes, I am liking it as well.
Oh, the war rages on.
The war rages on. Hey, Canada did pretty well in their war with the U.S. last time. Did the Cowboys fire Garrett? Not officially, from what I understand.
Yet. But they're interviewing other guys, so writing's on the wall.
I think it's because he's under contract till the 14th. So if they fire him before that, there's probably some breach of contract. But Roto World called the Titans secondary below average. Get out of here. Brady's an unrestricted free agent. Belichick to the Cowboys? I don't know. Yes, I did, John Stacy. I did see your handle, Mickey Hill. That's what we were alluding to.
I haven't seen the Bill Burr gold digging epidemic rant.
I did.
Belichick to Cowboys. That's not going to happen.
Brady to Carolina or where? That's an interesting comment. Let me think. Let me think of a team with a strong defense. Yikes! Carolina really isn't a bad option. That's assuming
Carolina's
he plays
like Swiss cheese this year.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that's that's unreasonable though.
Panthers gave up 470 points against this year, which I think is only second worst after the Dolphins.
What about Brady to the Bears?
Yeah, that would be a nice
Brady
fit.
to the Broncos?
But this is the same. It's the same as like when Manning went to Denver. Is it really going to help? Like, is Brady...
Hold up here. Manning to Denver was unbelievable in the first 2 years.
Yeah, but...
At the end, he was worse than Brock Osweiler. Still won.
I think you're getting the end. That's what I mean.
Yeah, alluding to. What about the Colts? You don't have to do much being on the Colts.
Bill Burr was on The Mandalorian. That's surprising.
Yeah, I remember that.
Brady to Chargers. They have a home in L.A. Brady to Tampa or the Chargers. Chargers is much more likely. The problem with Tampa is that I think they want to go with Winston. I think Winston has a lot of potential. It's just, is he going to be able to cut down on the mistakes as he becomes more experienced? I know Fat Guy's against me on this, but I don't know. Turnovers are just killers.
I like that he went for it, though.
Well, the guy plays to win. Problem is that you end up losing a lot of games.
I was going to say Chargers, but do you really want to go through another season where you might be getting the same as Phillip Rivers this year? I don't know.
It was surprising that Tyrod Taylor didn't make a start.
Taylor might be better than Brady and Rivers right now.
Yeah. It's hard to say that, but
yeah, but it's possible. I don't mind Tyrod Taylor as a player. He's pretty good. Ty God, as the fantasy gods to say.
He just said it's unlikely he'll be back.
Interesting. Now it's he'll absolutely play in 2020. There's some
That was
article.
3 hours ago.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of that stuff.
Yeah, I think we just have to wait instead of speculating.
5 likes might be a record for us. Don't know if he means the Pats or at all. If he says it in his post-game conference, that holds some weight. Like I said to the Fat Guy earlier on stream, or maybe before stream, I don't believe anything until Brady says it himself.
Yep. It's a weird feeling. Patriots just losing like that. Only 5 likes. Oh yeah. Oh, your handle is fantastic. We alluded to it already. It is a toque, by the way. Like, I don't understand how word beanie. Beanie is way less of a cool word. I get that toque by its very nature is a masculine because it's French, but come on now. I'm getting sleepy. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, it's been a long day.
Yeah, that's true. I did stuff today.
Untouchable poking the bear here, calling it a beanie.
Beanie is a brimless hat.
It's more like a yarmulke.
You know what I've always wanted? An idea, or I always had an idea for. You know the Terrapins who was at Maryland?
What about him?
If you had a yarmulke with the terrapin, like as like a school merch, I thought that would be funny. University of Maryland. Yeah, it is. Right on.
So what does that have to do with beanies and?
Well, the terrapin. Okay.
I don't know what a terrapin is.
It's a turtle.
Yeah.
So if you had like the University of Maryland,
you want it to be like a turtle.
I want the shell to be the yarmulke. It would be cool.
That's funny.
What is this show for? Realistically, we talk about gambling markets and stuff like that, and different bets and what have you. But we're at the end of the game, so we've kind of cooled down with a little levity, if you will, a little light chatter.
Yeah, we've been live for 3.5 hours, so
the kind of run thin.
Football talk slows down. There's no new lines out. Go for the win. Where I live, you're pretty much a Protestant or a terrorist suspect.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The true World War III is going to be over beanies and toques.
I think so.
Let's get the memes on that.
Yeah, World War II history as well. Yes, exactly. We've covered everything here.
Yeah, all my favorite topics.
Yeah, yeah. You want to call it?
Yeah, I think we'll call it. I'm just going to double check, see if there's been any lines that have been put out, which I highly doubt, and there hasn't from my brief look. Philly's gone back down to -1, so that line has been all over the place. It's going to be interesting to see because there's still going to be, right now, there's about 18,000 bets. These two games earlier closed at around 70,000 bets. So there's still 50,000 bets or so to come in on this game. It's going to be really interesting to see how this line is affected by those other 50,000 bettors. But what's up, rookie MVP? Too bad you caught us at the very end. Tomorrow's schedule, we're not going to live stream the early Viking-Saints game. We're going to let Dylan watch that in peace. And then we're going to be on 1:40 p.m. is the kickoff time for Seahawks-Eagles. Hopefully we can get on a little bit before 1:40 p.m. Pacific time for you guys so we can give you some advice. But the only advice is going to be to take the Eagles. So I'm going to probably take the Vikings as well tomorrow. But we're going to see there's still a lot of bets to come in on both those teams. So you guys all have a good night.
It's 1:40 p.m. Eastern, you mean?
1:40 p.m. Pacific, 4:40 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, yeah. No, what?
Yeah. 10 a.m. Pacific time for the early game.
There's no, like, Sunday night game? Wow, all right.
If it was a 10 a.m. Eastern time game, then we'd have to be up at 7 a.m.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I totally got my 3 hours mixed up. Huh, all right.
So we'll be on around 1:30 Pacific time,
maybe 1:20.
4:30 Eastern time. Oh, Mickey cashed the Pepperdine plus 20.5 against the Zags.
Hey, that'll work.
That's nice. Yeah, Untouchable's laughing. We're gonna let Dylan enjoy his Saints victory.
Yeah, if it happens.
Better not remove that Eagles 2 game or something bad might happen.
I'm not superstitious, Sam. Don't you worry.
We're both very superstitious. We know how much we can affect this game.
Oh, that'd be great if Dylan lost right off the get-go.
Oh, yeah. He's got to shave right away and drink that up. You think he's going to have a cold glass of milk or a warm glass of milk?
You got to do cold, man.
I don't know. I don't know what his style is.
I don't drink pubic hair very often, though. But when I do, I prefer cold milk.
All right, we'll leave it there. You guys have a good night.